up, guys? It's Kictor, and welcome to a very, very exciting stream. Oh my god, right off the bat. Thank you for donating, Quinn. Quinn has noticed everything is green. I have changed all my alerts to be Scum villain art drawn by Kate, and the lighting is green, my shirt is green, I'm drinking a matcha latte. It is a very green and joyous occasion because with the new publication of Scum Villain in Chinese, there were new extras. Actual canon new chapters written by MXTX herself. Oh my gosh. Sienna, thank you so much for being a member for 27 months. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. And Kitpo, thank you for being a member for 3 months. And Miss Rosie, oh my gosh, all of the new alerts. There we go, we just saw them all. Miss Rosie transmigrated 1 reader into Pride Immortal Way. Thank you so much for donating a membership, Miss Rosie. Oh my gosh, I hope you're doing good. And Effie, thank you so much for being a Supreme member for 22 months. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting right off the bat. Oh, okay, one of them, one of them didn't work. One of them is the classic, it's actually Bingha's dick in a box. There we go. Thank you so much, Emma, for gifting 5 memberships. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. And Annika has been in the system for 22 months and says, I'm painting green right now. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being a member for that long. And it is so green right now. But this is so exciting because, so it was published in Chinese, but there've been some freaking incredible people, like truly gods to a fandom. People that fan translate so that us fans in English can have access to this is absolutely incredible. So the translation that I am reading is done by Jin, and I have the link pinned in the chat in the description too. If you'd like to read along, I'm gonna be reading off my phone because I don't want to have like the text on the screen because that's how you probably share something. Cat's Cows has been a member for 22 months and says, excited for another Scum stream. What a treat to start the week. Yes! Let's get Monday off to a good start. Now, I will say, in the chat, I have only read Scum Villain once, and I read it somewhat recently, so if there are any characters or events that I do not remember, please help me. Please chime in the chat and remind me of who's who, but I feel like it's still pretty fresh in my mind. Sugar Kiss has been a Supreme member for 53 months. Oh my god, thank you so much, Sugar Kiss. And says, Kictor, can't stay for long and haven't read the new extras yet, but have fun. I am unfortunately utterly tired and just wanted to stop by. Oh, that's all good. I'm happy to see you here for a little bit to share in the excitement. 53 months and new Scum Villain extras. I'll listen/read after sleep. Oh, I hope you have a good sleep. And Munaria has been a member for 4 months and says, good day for us scummies. Fun fact, Peerless also recently got a new extra featuring Feng Xiao cross-drecking. Oh my, really? Stitch is literally reading Peerless in the other room right now. So Danmei fans are eating good. Hell yeah. Oh my god, this is so exciting. What a day. That's really cool though, that Peerless also got a new extra. And Effie says, I got the new job and just had orientation today. That is so exciting. I'm glad to hear that. That is awesome, Effie. I knew you'd do it. You can do anything. You can do anything you put your mind to it. DK Morgan has been a member for 36 months and says, so happy for more extras. Yes, me too. Thank you for supporting me for that long. And Spacey has been a Supreme member for 20 months. Thank you so much, Spacey. 20 months. Hi. I'm a little sad from a Minecraft series. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. But excited for the stream as a pick-me-up. Yes, I will pick you up. Absolutely. And Sumo says, want to hear a fun fact. Scum Villain and Modazushi in Polish will have a special dedication to readers in Poland, written by MXTX herself. What? Hey, that's super cool. That's awesome. Wow. To be touched by an angel. All right. I think we should jump right in. I saw, I know what like some of the extras are about. I saw some like insane fan headcanons have been confirmed. But I don't know too much, so I think we should just dive right on in. Millie is Good has been a member for 2 months and says, "Hi, I'm so excited for this reading. Your Scum Villain reads helped me keep company as I settled into a new city where I knew no one." Oh my god. Oh, I'm glad I could keep you company. Thank you. No, thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you enjoyed. And K Moment has been a member for 15 months and says 15 months and reading Riverbay Road. Oh, very nice, very nice. I just saw another Fei Chan novel is getting published by Seven Seas. Twin Jades, not the Twin Jades of Gusu, but I think it's called Twin Jades. Okay. Let us read these extras. Okay. Chapter 1. Return to Reality. Oh my god, what's gonna happen? Of course, you will never find a trashier piece of web junk than Proud Immortal Demon Way. Whoever likes that kind of garbage, I'll look down on them for life. Their taste is beyond saving. Ah, Sienna, thank you so much for donating. All the green is also green Yuri coded. Yes, my life is Scum Villain and green Yuri right now, for sure. Shenjing Zhou laid on the hospital bed. Oh my god, this is crazy. A smile frozen on his face. He waited patiently as the young intern doctor ranted to his heart's content, gesturing wildly while taking every chance to slack off. Only after the doctor marched out of the room, full of righteous indignation, did Shenjing Zhou finally turn his head, expressionless. Cup Noodle Cat, thank you for being a member for 9 months. Oh my god, you've been born. A miscalculation, he said flatly. Turns out he's a hater of your novel. Look what you've brought upon us. Shang Jinghua slumped down in despair, looking as though his soul had left his body. He wailed, "You're humiliating me, cucumber bro! How could you just sit there and watch someone humiliate me like that?" Shenjing Zhou's temples throbbed in pain. With a sharp tug, he yanked the curtain between their bed's clothes. "That's enough!" Oh my god! Okay. Well, it's a long story, but we'll keep it short. In a nutshell, on some fateful day, Shenjing Zhou and Shang Jinghua both received a notification from the system. System. Special notice! The item shop has launched a Lunar New Year gift pack event. System. In recognition of the host's long-standing exemplary performance, you may exchange 50,000 satisfaction points for 1 homecoming gift pack. This pack allows the host to spend 1 week in their original world. What? Shenjing Zhou was completely stunned. Wait, hold on, he asked. I thought I died in the real world. How am I supposed to go back? And what will happen if I do? System. Upon verification, the host's physical body in the original world has not died. It is merely in a state of suspended consciousness. What? He wasn't dead? But wait, that didn't make sense. Food poisoning shouldn't put someone into a coma. Could it be that he'd gone into shock out of sheer rage at the Proud Immortal Demon Way? Now that would be a new level of tragic. System. This gift pack is a limited time offer. Expired items cannot be reissued. Please confirm your redemption immediately. Was there even a need to think about it? Shenjing Zhou and Shang Jinghua exchanged an agreeing glance. Confirm! Oh my god. I can't believe this is happening! I can't believe this. Oh my gosh. The plan was simple enough. Purchase first, examine the terms later. Once they figured out the details, they'd have a nice, chill conversation with Lo Binghe and Mo Beijun about their planned absence, and lastly, use it to return to the real world. Unfortunately, a tiny procedural issue occurred, and by tiny, Shenjing Zhou meant catastrophic. Normally, system-issued items came with a confirmation prompt along the lines of, use item, yes/no. It would only activate when you selected yes. This time, however, the system decided to skip that formality. The moment they redeemed the gift pack, it was activated automatically. And that's how they ended up in this utterly unprepared, completely ridiculous situation. I can't believe that! This is crazy! Oh my gosh. And Tina, thank you so much for being a member for 10 months. I'm glad you're here. This is so funny. Okay. After a quick round of investigation, Shenjing Zhou, no, Shen Yuan, summed up the situation. one piece of extremely good news and one piece of extremely bad news. The extremely good news. Time in the real world flowed much slower than in Proud Immortal Demon Way. Several years had passed in the book's world, but here, only a single day. The extremely bad news. That probably meant if he stayed here for 2 days, decades might pass over there. He didn't even dare imagine what Lo Binghe would do in the meantime. Oh god. Still, they were here now, and there was no way to contact that world. Shen Yuan's head throbbed, worry gnawed at him, but after a deep breath, he steadied himself. If he couldn't do anything about both worlds, then he'd make sure at least one was secure. He'd never been the type to lose on both fronts. He decided to devote himself, fully and completely, to his family. After all, the gift pack was a literal blessing from heaven, as fleeting as it may be. Who knew if they'd ever get such a chance again? By sheer luck, airplane shooting towards the sky, his dear colleague, Shang Qinghua, happened to be in the same hospital. At least they weren't lost to the vast crowd, with no one to conspire with. I can't believe MXDX did it. I can't frickin' believe she did this. Oh my gosh. The moment Shen Yuan woke up, he wandered out of his VIP ward, took one stroll around the floor, and found Shang Qinghua huddled miserably in a shared 4-person room. Although there was admittedly a faint awkwardness between them. After all, he'd been someone's shizun for many years. It had become a reflex to act the part. Without his folding fan, he hardly knew what to do with his hands. While strolling around the hospital, Shen Yuan happened to walk alongside several elderly patients. He guided them to the pharmacy and engaged in some small talk with them. As he turned to leave, he overheard one of the gentlemen, cane in hand, exclaim to his tardy grandson, "That young man, he's extraordinary! You don't often see that kind of presence at his age. He's got depth, real depth." It's like he can't turn off the shizen face. Shen Yuan, ... Compared with his own minor food poisoning incident, Shang Qinghua's real-world body had suffered from electrocution, which was far more serious, which is why his limbs still twitched now and then. Oh my god. So, Shen Yuan ended up dragging him out of the shared ward, upgraded his stay, and after a quick word with the hospital, had another bed moved into his VIP room. That gave them plenty of time to talk. Shang Qinghua stared at him in disbelief. "Cucumber bro, you're actually a rich second gen? You're not just good looking, you're rich too?" Shen Yuan arched his brow. Is that really so shocking? He hadn't seen his real face in ages, and looking into the mirror again felt oddly nostalgic. As his sister used to say, his looks were deceptive. The room had been filled with his favorite flowers, lilies of the valley. Yes, he knew they were poisonous. Their white bells drooped gracefully beside his chair, matching the pale green leaves. Shen Yuan himself looked much the same, clean, relaxed, and effortlessly refined. Seated with one arm draped over the railing, he was the very picture of an elegant young gentleman. Anyone seeing him would assume he was a man of leisure, a charming drifter, perhaps even a party king. Scratch that. Who would believe that he was actually a stupid otaku homebody? Oh, how fraudulent. Oh, to be this stupid otaku homebody. This is so funny. Shang Qinghua muttered in daze. Right, no wonder you throw money around like they grow on trees, and no wonder you look down on Proud Immortal Demon Way. For a normie like you, that kind of brainless wish-fulfillment fiction must be unbearable. But still, if you are rich and handsome, why read something like Proud Immortal Demon Way at all? Shen Yuan had never met anyone who could humble brag himself into the grave while trying to be modest. But he couldn't deny it. He genuinely wanted to know. He just couldn't help himself. Reading that book had always left him in a whiplash state. One moment thinking it was utter trash, and the next sensing the author actually had ideas. Then, no, definitely trash again. Anyways, let's change the subject. So, your real name is Shang Fei? Shang Qinghua nodded like a woodpecker. This is so cute. Oh my gosh. That was how Shen Yuan had recognized him in the first place. Otherwise, he never would have matched the name to the person. Because, well, because airplane shooting towards the sky was nothing like he'd imagined. Zhang Qinghua looked every bit the handsome young man. But Xiang Fei looked like a quiet, shy, delicate, introverted high school boy, the kind of kid who'd get cornered by loud, broad-shouldered classmates at the stairwell. Oh my god. Give him a melancholy profile, a white short-sleeve shirt, gray lighting, and some ambiguous prop, and he could go straight onto the cover of a tragic youth novel. Shen Yuan had an epiphany. No wonder Airplane's idea of male beauty was the proud, sharp feature type like Mo Beijun. Looking like that himself, he'd probably been pushed around plenty. No surprise he idolized the ultimate big brother among big brothers. Not that Shen Yuan disliked Mo Beijun, he simply preferred Lo Binghe's student council president honor student vibe. Oh my god. He seized the chance to ask something that had puzzled him for ages. So tell me, your real name's perfectly normal. How did you end up with such a pervy pen name? Zhang Qinghua protested, aggrieved. You can't blame me, cucumber bro. I didn't want that name. I was young and stupid and didn't care much about privacy. I tried using my real name first, but it was taken. Then I went from Xiang Fei 1 to Xiang Fei 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then Xiang Fei's fish, Xiang Fei's pig, Xiang Fei's cow, through every animal in the zodiac, you name it. At one point, I even tried, why is it so hard for Xiang Fei to pick a name? But the system said it was too long. In a fit of rage, I just chose something no one else would ever use. I swear it was a moment of weakness. Besides, Peerless Cucumber isn't much better, is it? Shen Yuan's expression darkened. Unlike you, mine actually had a reason. My sister was obsessed with a show called Peerless Crown Princess and kept chanting the title around the house. Meanwhile, I was binge-reading Proud Immortal Demon Way, day and night. Too lazy to cook, always gnawing on cucumbers at midnight. See, in his, like, fucking goon cave, just eating cucumbers. The two just fused in my head. It was kind of a brain rot, simple as that. Zhang Qinghua missed the point entirely, looked deeply moved by his words. Oh, Zhang Qinghua, missing the point entirely, looked deeply moved by his words. So that's it! Cucumber bro, you cared that much about me! Shen Yuan couldn't stand it, but facing that innocent face, he couldn't bring himself to roast him. With a sharp swish, he yanked the curtain closed again. This is so cute. The hospital had notified Shen Yuan's family when he woke up. His parents, long semi-retired after handing the family business to their unfilial children, immediately picked up his high school-age sister from school and rushed to his bedside. Seeing them standing before him brought a lump to his throat. After so long in the world of Proud Immortal Demon Way, how could he not miss his family? But he knew perfectly well there was nothing he could do about it. Thinking too much would only make it worse, so he never allowed himself a moment to dwell on home, always keeping busy, always rushing about. His two older brothers weren't there. One was at an Antarctic research base. What? The other deep in the mountains in search of ancient tea trees. Okay. Cool. He missed them, but by the time they journeyed their way back, he'd probably be yanked back into the book world again. They had already flown home once they'd heard about Shen Yuan's fatal food poisoning coma. Doing it twice would be cruel to their colleagues, so they just sent him photos of his corpse-like state as a token of concern. Deeply moved, Shen Yuan spammed the family group chat with angry, vomiting, and cursing emojis, verbally abused them for good measure in exchange for a shower of apologies that came in the form of cash transfer. As for bringing home a stray patient from the hospital, his family barely blinked. Oh my gosh. His sister, Shen Tang, gaming on her phone without looking up, muttered, classic move. When he was little, he used to bring home abandoned puppies, bathe them in secret, and let them sleep under his blanket, only to have nightmares with the dog lying on his chest. Wow. He used to bring home stray puppies and let them sleep in his bed? That's oh my god. He was made for Bing Pup. Zhang Qinghua was first confused by the phrase, classic move, then touched that cucumber bro loved animals so much. Then, realization hit him. Wait, so am I a stray dog he picked up? After a full round of examinations confirmed that Shen Yuan was completely recovered, he left the hospital with several large bouquets in his arms. Naturally, Shang Qinghua also got the deluxe physical exam package courtesy of Shen Yuan, came out unscathed, and prepared to return to his rented apartment. Before parting, Shen Yuan hesitated, then called out, "Do you want to come stay at my place? It's not that big, but I can fit one more." He knew Airplane lived alone, no family, no one to check on him, and given this man's track record of nearly dying from electrocution while eating instant noodles, what if he nearly drops dead again with no one around? For a moment, Airplane looked tempted, even conflicted. But then he chuckled. "Cucumber bro, you really do love me. But your time's precious. You should spend it with your family. I'll go home and work." Shen Yuan didn't dignify the love comment with a response. "All right," he said simply. "Go work. I'll find you in a few days." Work, of course, meant his most sacred task, eating cup noodles. No, just kidding. He wants to sort through his drafts and write extra chapters for Proud Immortal Demon Way. Oh my god. Shen Yuan had no faith in that whatsoever. Every reader knew how dangerous it was to write sequels or extras for an old, once popular series. It was pure, thankless labor. Readers would just say, "It doesn't feel the same anymore." That's MXTX being meta. That's hilarious. That's exactly what she did. Except I believe the response is very, very positive. It wasn't anyone's fault, though. Even if the author stayed the same, the readers wouldn't. They'd walked too far down different paths to meet again at some crosspoint. In short, Shen Yuan had a bad feeling that Airplane's next masterpiece would be nothing short of a catastrophe. MXTX come out here breaking the fourth wall like the Kool-Aid man. Okay, that's the end of chapter 1. We just learned so much insane lore. I can't believe that. I can't believe only one day passed in the real world? That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. But decades passed? Like, how could Binghe live for a decade without Shen Qingqiu? That's crazy. Oh, there's so much more lore incoming. Okay, shall we continue? On to chapter 2, Welcome Home. Oh my gosh, CSCL said, honestly, if he knows he was going back in a week, he'd be writing in an extra with, "So now in Pride Immortal Demon Way, there's air conditioning and chocolate and boba." Yeah, oh my gosh, if you can write what's in your world that you're going to return to, that's crazy. That's so funny. Okay, shall we continue? Chapter 2. Shen Yuan didn't return to the suburban villa where he'd been living before his hospitalization. Instead, he went back to his family's downtown apartment, a wide, bright space high above the river. If anyone asked why, well, the answer was simple. If he suddenly collapsed again, it'd be much easier to rush him straight back to the hospital. The view from the 95th floor apartment was spectacular. By day, it was a sweep of glittering river through the cityscape. By night, a sea of twinkling urban lights. That evening, the whole house was bright with laughter. A restaurant had sent over an entire feast, and the family gathered around to celebrate the third son's recovery and discharge. Beneath his genuine delight, Shen Yuan felt a faint stir of melancholy. He didn't know how to tell them that in just a few days he might fall asleep again, nor could he fathom what Lo Binghe must be going through right now. He had only drifted into a thought for a heartbeat when his mother's voice cut through, full of concern. "What's wrong, Lao-san? Still feeling unwell?" And it says, the translator's note, that is a common term of address for the third-born child in a family. Shen Yuan forced a laugh. "No, I'm fine. Just a bit too full." Just then, the doorbell rang. Oh no. For some reason, Shen Yuan felt something stir within his chest. An inexplicable premonition prickled at the back of his neck. His younger sister, Shen Tong, hopped up to answer it. Moments later, she came back in, eyes wide. Someone's here for you. A friend." A friend? That was strange. Everyone in his family knew his friends, none of whom would make his sister look that shocked. Could it be Shenyuan moved towards the door. His walk picked up momentum, growing hurried enough that he nearly sent himself stumbling. A steady hand caught him just in time. He looked up and met a face of breathtaking beauty. Luo Binghe gazed down at him, the last traces of panic in his eyes slowly melting into pure relief. Oh my god! Oh my god. Shenyuan's breath hitched. He looked from Luo Binghe to his family, his mind a whirlwind of colliding thoughts. First, I need to calm him down. He must be so worried. Second, how the hell am I going to introduce him to my family? But the loudest of all was the alarm bell ringing in his head. He suddenly remembered that his current appearance was his real-world body. Different face, different build. Luo Binghe might not even recognize him. But that concern evaporated almost immediately. Oh my god. Because Luo Binghe was staring at him with the exact same look he always had in the other world. Even without a word spoken, Shenyuan knew that he'd been recognized. Oh my god. Everyone else in the living room looked bewildered, sensing the strange tension. Shenyuan reacted fast. Hold on, we'll be right back. With that, Shenyuan virtually rocketed Luo Binghe into his room and shut the door. Oh my god, this is so cute. He recognized him. Oh my god. Shizun, Luo Binghe exhaled softly, the tightness in his chest easing. I knew it was you. Oh my god. How did you even find this place? Shenyuan asked. Shizun disappeared for several days, Luo Binghe said quietly. Mobe told me the Anding Peak Lord was missing as well. We spent some time and used certain methods. After a few months, we finally traced the location of your souls through your bodies. He said it in such a calm, light voice. Hi, Bee-Boop! Thank you so much for being a member for 4 months! Oh my goodness. This is absolutely incredible. Binghe just showed up on his doorstep in the modern world. But Shenyuan knew those phrases, sometime, certain methods, hid countless difficulties and pain. Mobe Jun's here too? He is. He went to find Anding Peak Lord. Kate, thank you so much for donating. Binghe frantically clawing his way through space and time to get to Shizun is such a funny mental image to me. Yeah, you know, we did some things and got some stuff, but we made it work. It's like cuts to them like, ah! Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Thank you so much, Kate, and thank you for drawing the art for all of the members and donations on the stream. You're amazing. Mobe Jun's here too? He is. He went to find Anding Peak Lord. Shenyuan could only pray that airplane doesn't panic and spill instant noodles onto a live socket again. Not the noodles. Can you two even get back? Shenyuan asked anxiously. It would be a total disaster if he and airplane can return, but Luo Binghe and Mobe Jun can't. Luo Binghe's tone was relaxed. There's no need to worry. My soul is bound to Shizun's. When yours returns, so will mine. Wherever Shizun is, I will be. Only then did Shenyuan breathe easier. At least there wouldn't be a tragic case of worlds forever divided. Still, how? How could the book's world have intersected with reality itself? He couldn't figure it out, and it wasn't the time. There was something else that had him perplexed. How did you recognize me? He asked instead. Oh, Orion, thank you so much for sending Bingcho kisses. Orion says, I want to see Bingcho kiss again. Don't mind me. Oh, thank you so much. And Kenzie also donated. Thank you so much, Kenzie, for Shizun. 07. Sorry, Shizun. Chilling out with tea and waiting for my honey to come home. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Keep you some company. Thank you guys for donating. Double kisses. Okay, so he said, how did you recognize me? He asked instead. Now that he is back in his normal routine, staying Shizun felt oddly embarrassing. Luo Binghe smiled. I just knew. Even if Shizun took on another form, I'd still recognize you at a glance. The devotion. Shenyuan drew in a long breath. He needed to explain, somehow, what was happening, but maybe he'd always known, deep down, that this day would come. Binghe, he began calmly, I know you may have many questions. But Lo Binghe looked utterly unconfused. He tilted his head slightly. Why would I be, Shizun? You're not wondering why I'm here or why I look like this? Lo Binghe blinked, looking as though Shen Yuan just uttered some strange questions. Should I be? Isn't this your original world, Shizun? And isn't this your original self? Shen Yuan froze. The composure on his face cracked. You knew? Lo Binghe smiled. Of course. Binghe knowing he was a transmigrator, I think is amazing. I think that's absolutely amazing. Because I had always been a little curious of like, you know, original Shen Qingqiu was bad to him and then switched up, you know? It's like he started acting OOC, truly. And for Binghe to know that these are actually two different people, I do really like that. And Emoto says, smashing Bingqiu dolls together, now kiss. Thank you so much, Emoto, for donating and giving Bingqiu kisses. Cat's Cows says, Binghe knowing is one of my favorite things that MXTX added. Yes, yes. He accepted Shenzhou just not being there, right? I'm like, what does that mean for Yue Qingyan? Does he know, like, he knows his guy is gone? Maybe they're transmigrated somewhere as well. You knew? Lo Binghe smiled. Of course. So he'd known all along that his Shizun wasn't from his world and that he was someone else entirely. Since when? Shen Yuan asked in disbelief. A long time ago. How long? I confirmed it for certain when the demon clan raided Sangchong Mountain, right after Shizun had asked me to fight Elder Tianxue. Lo Binghe's voice was calm, almost nostalgic. Lo Binghe was indeed an unbelievable genius. That had been years ago, and Shen Yuan could barely remember the name of Elder Skyhammer Tianxue. Lo Binghe had been only 14 at the time, and he'd already noticed something was off. But I first began to suspect in Shuanghu City, Lo Binghe continued. The exact time when Shizun's soul descended must have happened before then, right? He'd even deducted the correct time frame. Shen Yuan was stunned, yet Lo Binghe wasn't finished. After that, he said, I reviewed everything. I realized Shizun had changed even earlier. Not long before that, Shizun fell ill with a terrible fever, remember? When Shizun recovered, everything about you was different. The changes just didn't add up. Before that, you'd strike and scold me. After that, you'd save and soothe me. Doesn't that seem inconsistent? Doesn't that sound a little OOC, Shizun? Oh my gosh. I love this so much. I love this so much. He gazed attentively at Shen Yuan, as if asking, am I right? Lorelei has been a member for 2 years. Thank you so much, Lorelei. Lorelei says, I adore these special extra chapters so much. The fanfic writers are having a field day. I bet. Oh my god, imagine being someone being like, I predicted this. That's amazing. After a pause, Shen Yuan sighed softly. You're right. That's when I arrived. Lo Binghe smiled, feeling as though a burden had been lifted from his heart after so long. I finally got to hear it from Shizun yourself, so that was our real first meeting. For a moment, silence hung between them. Then Shen Yuan asked, if you've known all this time, why never bring it up? Lo Binghe looked puzzled. Why would I? It's just a small thing. If Shizun didn't tell me, it meant you didn't want to. And if you didn't want to, why would I ever force you to speak of it? Oh, he's just so perfect, isn't he? Oh, Binghe. Oh, Binghe. DKW Morgan, thank you for donating as well. Love that Binghe guessed that, right? Me too. I do really love it. I love it. Effie says, I'm vibrating out of my skin from how much I love this. Me too. Oh my god. Oh my god, Bee-boop. Oh my god. Bee-boop. Oh my god. Thank you so much. Bee-boop just transmigrated 50 freaking people. Oh my god. thank you so much for gifting 50 memberships. Thank you so, so much. Oh my gosh. Everyone say, Shen Bee Boop. Dude, that is, I just can't believe you. Thank you so, so much. That is beyond kind of you, Bee Boop. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying the extras. That is, Bee Boop is the system, yes. Thank you so, so much. I really, really appreciate that. That's just incredibly kind of you. Oh my gosh, the whole chat is green. That's just so incredible. Thank you, Bee Boop. Oh my gosh. I just really appreciate that. That is just so kind of you. Please, Bee Boop, tell me your thoughts on the extras. I'd love to hear it. Just thank you. That really, really means so much. And welcome to all the new members. After a pause, Shenyuan sighed softly. You're right. That's when I arrived. Luo Binghe smiled, feeling as though a burden had been lifted from his heart after so long. I finally got to hear it from Shizun yourself, so that was our real first meeting. For a moment, silence hung between them. Then Shenyuan asked, if you've known all this time, why never bring it up? Why would I? It's such a small thing. If Shizun didn't tell me, it meant you didn't want to. And if you didn't want to, why would I ever force you to speak of it? You think it's unimportant? Of course. The only thing that matters is that Shizun came to me, that you're here. Where you came from doesn't bother me. What matters is you, not the state of you, Shizun. Shenyuan couldn't help it. But didn't it bother you? Didn't you think maybe I wasn't really your Shizun? Luo Binghe laughed softly. What do you mean, Shizun? The one who raised me, who guided me, who taught me everything? It could have only been you. Do you not really believe me to be so childish that I could not see that? Oh my god. Oh my god. I love how this is censored, and this is like the most romantic thing I've ever read. Shenyuan was speechless. It wasn't like that. He'd underestimated Luo Binghe by assuming he'd need to sit down for a long emotional talk, maybe even a bit of therapy. But Luo Binghe had already accepted it all years ago. His anxious mind finally calmed down, replaced by a quiet sense of completion and closure. Then he noticed Luo Binghe staring at him, focused and unwavering. The intensity was so profound it became almost unbearable, pressing down on Shenyuan until he felt an urge to escape. He was accustomed to being stared at for his looks since childhood, but no one had ever looked at him with such frankness and unwavering conviction. Luo Binghe was the first. Shenyuan cleared his throat. Let's not just sit around like this. Come on, I'll take you to meet my family. Luo Binghe's eyes lit up at once. Yes! That sudden burst of joy left Shenyuan momentarily at a loss for words. That was so freaking cute. I can't believe how cute that was. And this is censored. I love how MXTX was like, yeah, they totally wanted to freaking bang right after that. But I can't write that in this published edition. The way that he stares at him, the way that he accepted everything, the way that he loved him so much and was like, you're my Shizun, what the hell? Fuck that abuser, man! You have been the best from the beginning and I love you! Oh my gosh, I just freaking... It's so cute. I can't believe this. I'm so happy with all of this. We're still in chapter 2 right now. For anybody asking about that. Okay. Angelili has been a member for 3 months and says, I love the extras. They are so cute. Yes, me too. Me too. I'm really enjoying this. And thank you for being a member for 3 months. He handed Lo Binghe some of his clothes to change into. Stop! Oh my god! Oh my god! I love that. Him wearing his clothes. That's so cute. Ah. When they stepped back into the living room, Shen Yuan immediately heard his mother whispering, "It's normal for young people these days to do this. It's called cosplay. Don't give him that look. You're being old-fashioned." Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love this so much. I love this so much. He's a cosplayer. It's totally normal. Also, It's Bee Honey. Thank you for being a member for 4 months. And It's Bee Honey says, "I'm back from India finally. I will be able to come to lives again finally. I missed so many." Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you could come hang out. I hope that your trip was great. Oh my god, it's called cosplay. His father protested while pouring tea. "Old-fashioned. I know about this play thing. I was just admiring how well he plays the part. What's wrong with that?" His sister, eyes on her phone, muttered without looking up, "Stop arguing. The play's over. They're coming out." All three turned to stare. "Got any extra bowls and chopsticks?" Shen Yuan asked casually. "He's staying for dinner." "In the cupboard," his mother said, pointing. Shen Yuan dished up a bowl of rice. His father asked, "Lao-san, your friend?" "Nope," Shen Yuan corrected. "My disciple. His name is Lo Binghe." What? Following the script Shen Yuan had drilled into him, Lo Binghe greeted politely, though for some reason he had voluntarily summoned a charming blush to his cheeks. "Hello, uncle, auntie." "Oh, hello, hello," his mother said brightly. "Come, Xiaoluo, have a seat." Xiaoluo? Oh my god. Oh my god. His sister squinted. "Your disciple? Since when? What do you even teach him? Sure he's not some kid from the school you went to." Shen Yuan kept a straight face. "Gaming." He's his gaming shizen? This is ridiculous. Oh my god. Hi, Spark Major. Oh my god. This is so funny. Just a little cultivation-themed combat game. I'm second in command of the biggest guild in the game, so I have to train newbies. There's an in-person event coming up, and Binghe's playing the game's final boss. He came over to show me his costume. He'll be performing a short skit, so we're rehearsing the lines together. He'll stay with us for a few days. Orion, thank you for donating. Orion says, "Binghe meeting the Shen parents is so cute. I'm dead." Me too. Yeah, Shen Yuan being like, he even mustered up a little blush, but I'm like, no, that's Binghe's blushing because he's meeting his lover's parents. Like, oh my god. Oh. His mother beamed. "I see, Xiaoluo, you're absolutely playing that costume. Good luck with the performance." Like parents trying to use like modern terms to relate to the youth. You're playing that cause. Lo Binghe seemed to catch the underlying meaning as his blush deepened. Oh, sorry, I missed a line. "I see, Xiaoluo, you're absolutely playing that costume. Good luck with the performance." Shen Yuan nearly bit his tongue, trying to contain his laugh. "He does look great, doesn't he? That's why we chose him to play." Lo Binghe seemed to catch the underlying meaning as his blush deepened. "Thank you, Auntie, for your kind words, but I am quite ordinary. It is my shizen, whose appearance is truly breathtaking. He is akin to a celestial being." You can't just say that! You can't just say that! Hey, Moto, thank you for making Bingcho kiss again. Thank you so much. And now kiss and cosplay. Yes! Yes! Binghe, you're being a little gay. Oh my gosh. Flirting in front of the in-laws. Binghe's a top student majoring in classical literature. That's just his way of talking. You'll get used to it. "Ah, I see," his parents nodded. "Very cultured. Not like kids these days." The meal went on. Shenyuan kept one wary eye on his sister, but thankfully she didn't suspect anything. She glanced at Lo Binghe's long hair for a bit, then slipped off a hairband from her wrist and offered it. Stop, 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 stop. Oh my god. Here, use this. Thank you. Lo Binghe accepted it politely and earnestly. Oh my god, this is killing me. This is the funniest thing. Stop. He examined the hair tie, which has a cotton puppy attached. The puppy looked goofy looking and was even wearing a tiny bib. Lo Binghe made no comment or show of confusion, but just in case, Shenyuan reached over. I'll help you. Stop, he's gonna do it. I'm literally kicking my feet and giggling right now. Oh my gosh. Lo Binghe sat obediently, hands on his knees, posture perfectly straight, like a well-behaved student awaiting instruction. As Shenyuan gathered Lo Binghe's long hair and tied it up neatly, he made a mental note to take the boy to a salon for a haircut tomorrow. He took a step back to examine his disciple. Not bad, he thought. Cute, even. Oh my god. Something about Lo Binghe suited cute in an unnervingly natural way. Shenyuan couldn't help but laugh. It's like, this is the dude that rails you. Kit Kat, thank you for joining my membership. Welcome to the system. This is so cute. I can't believe this. This is so freaking cute. Pabani, thank you for your donation. Bingcho might be the only couple who met each other's parents. Oh, yeah. Plus, the hair tie bit made me die from cuteness aggression. Me too. I can't believe this. I can't believe how cute that is, and that he got to do his hair. Like, oh, I love it so much. And he thinks he's cute. His sister looked up. When did you start playing games? What game? I want to try. Games are a waste of time, Shenyuan said solemnly. Your only job right now is to study hard. Since when did you start sounding like a tired elementary school teacher? Shentong muttered in confusion. Is it just me? No, I feel it too, their mother agreed fervently. Anyway, Shenyuan huffed. I was studying hard when I was your age. And look how that turned out, his sister said dryly. You studied hard, and now you're still just playing games. So what's the difference? Play now or play later? He surrendered instantly, pressing his palms together in mock salute. She is the undisputed apex predator of their household, indeed. The fact that he gets, like, bullied by his sister is so funny. Oh my god. Peerless Shizen or tired elementary school teacher. I fucking love that. Oh god. He surrendered instantly. Yeah, she was the apex predator of their household. When he looked up, Lo Binghe was smiling. What are you laughing at? If Shenyuan had a fan in his hand, he would have smacked him right then and there. This insolent disciple. Just then, his mother glanced at Lo Binghe and suddenly exclaimed, Wait, isn't that Ben Ben? Lo Binghe blinked, confused. The others turned to look at the little dog on his hair tie. His father adjusted his glasses, nodding. You're right, it does look like Ben Ben. And that ugly bib, too. It's just like the one Lao San loved putting on him. Oh, stop! No, my god! Shenyuan's face darkened. First of all, the bib wasn't ugly. It was my best work. Second, of course it looks the same. I had it custom made according to Ben Ben's photo. Who's Ben Ben? Lo Binghe asked curiously. His sister happily supplied the tale. My brother's old dog. We weren't allowed pets, but in 6th grade, he secretly brought home one that had been hit by a car. He bandaged it up like a mummy, shared his own meals with it, and let it sleep in his bed. One night, it rolled onto his chest and almost suffocated him. Shentong, Shenyuan interrupted through gritted teeth. Could you not tell that story to literally everyone I ever introduce you to? It's not even funny. But Shizen, Lo Binghe said earnestly, I think it's a wonderful story. Could Auntie, Uncle, and your sister tell me more about it? Shenyuan, ... That is so cute. That says so much about him. Oh my god. The fact that he loves dogs and is so sweet. It's like his soul is so perfect for a Bingha, you know? He had a Ben, now he has the Bing. I can't believe how adorable that is. That makes my, like, chest ache. Oh my god. And the fact he got a hair tie made in Ben's image, and he made Ben a little, oh god. He's got so much love in his heart. It's like, you have to reread Scumvillain knowing the man who saved Ben and made a little hair tie of his image from him is the man that's acting all stoic and cool, and oh my god. He's he's such a, like, little lover boy. He's so sweet. I can't believe that. That's really so cute. Okay, that is the end of chapter 2. Bean, thank you for being a member for 11 months. Bean says, I got so busy that I had to miss so many streams. I'm glad I can at least join in for this one, and that it's the new Scumvillain Extra 2. I miss this so much. Dude, I've missed the Scumvillain streams so much too. The Scumvillain streams are so fun. Okay. Sienna, thank you so much for sending a gift membership or transmigrating one reader into Pride of Mortal Demon Way. Thank you so much. That's a little bing for sure. Okay, chapter 3, The World That Made You. On the third day back in the real world, Shen Yuan was up at the crack of dawn. Time was a luxury he couldn't afford to waste on sleep. He booked a stylist. It was time to drag Lo Binghe out for a haircut. Homotron, thank you for your donation. Hey, Kictor, I hope you're having a good evening. I haven't finished reading Scumvillain yet. I don't want to spoil myself, so I'm only popping in for a bit. Everyone in the chat, have fun. Love y'all. Oh, thank you so much. You gotta read it. You gotta read it, because this is amazing. But thank you for your donation and for popping in. Oh my god, as he's getting a haircut. I can't believe this. Shen Yuan couldn't help a sigh of admiration. As expected of the protagonist, his face's specs are just on another level. So many actors could only rock one style, doomed to either be a period drama heartthrob or a modern fashion icon, never both. When your facial features weren't top tier, you needed vibes to carry you, and your specific flaws usually locked you into one aesthetic. But Lo Binghe's face? Flawless from every angle, 360 degrees of pure perfection. Shen Yuan was half tempted to shave it all off into a buzz cut just to see if he'd still be handsome. He managed to restrain the impulse, though. After all, in his books, buzz cuts belong to the 9 circles of aesthetic hell. Oh my gosh. Sailor Shipper, thank you so much for being a Supreme member for 13 months and said calling it the haircut is not going well. I do think bald Binghe would be hot. Too bad they're all traumatized from the monks. And Amoto, thank you for donating again. Do these new extras come with any illustrations? There are a bunch of new illustrations. Emma, who I believe is in the chat, sent me the physical Chinese edition. So once that arrives, I will definitely unbox it and show all the pictures. I'm sure it's been posted on Twitter already. Like the picture I used for the thumbnail is from it. Okay, so what did he give him? A clean, normal, short style would do just fine. He hovered around the stylist, buzzing with unsolicited advice. Thin it out a bit here. Make the bangs wispier. Even short hair needs a sense of flow and movement. Lo Binghe just sat there, quietly watching Shen Yuan talk and gesture, hanging on to his every word as if it were the most fascinating thing he'd ever heard. Oh my god, I fucking love Lo Binghe so much. Since Binghe was taller, Shen Yuan's own clothes fit him awkwardly, so Shen Yuan dug out some of his older brother's old college outfits. Oh my god. Just like that, the dark, intimidating demon lord transformed into a white shirt university student. It was the simplest, cleanest look, and yet the lethality remained. Bingha slipped one hand into the low-slung pocket, a move he'd mastered without being taught, studied his reflection, and asked thoughtfully, "Shizen, do you like this appearance?" Shenyuan adjusted Lo Bingha's belt buckle, meticulously rolled up his shirt sleeves to reveal a stretch of pale, strong wrist, and gave him a once-over before replying lightly, "Not bad." Like it? Is he kidding? College student Lo Bingha was drop-dead gorgeous. Was he even allowed to look this good? Oh my god! Oh my god, I love Shenyuan just being like, he is us. We are the same. Oh my god, Bingha just being so hot. The belt buckle adjusting. I know MXTX was she's giving us as much as she can. She really is. Just another day. Thank you for donating. Thank you for another great read. Oh, thank you for joining and hanging out. This is awesome. Nettie, thank you for donating as well. Oh my goodness. Kictor, hey, I haven't made a stream for a while, but so happy to make it for this one. I've been busy working hard on physical therapy. Oh, that's fantastic. I am finally back on my feet. Oh, wow. That is so amazing to hear. I'm so happy to hear that. Missed you guys a lot, though. Yes, we missed you too. I'm so happy to hear you're back on your feet. That's an incredible recovery, truly. Glad to hear you're doing better. Thank you so much for donating and coming to hang out. Shenyuan has literally never been so gay, right? I love this. I absolutely love this so much. Ugh. I love it when characters are just so down bad for each other. This is definitely a post-wedding Shenyuan. He knows he's gay and is adjusting belt buckles and everything. Oh, I'm so happy. It took less than a day for Lo Bingha to completely and utterly win over Shenyuan's mother. By noon, he was politely and efficiently commandeering the kitchen, handling every task himself. His mom just stepped in, took one taste of the food, and immediately launched into praise that could shake the heavens and earth. The bookworm girl, thank you for being a member for 13 months. Rest in peace, Shenyuan. Whoever marries Xiao Luo in the future will be the luckiest person alive. Lo Bingha blushed and replied with humility, "Thank you, Auntie. Bingha also hopes for that too." From the living room, Shenyuan kept glancing back from the news broadcast to the kitchen, utterly bewildered. What kind of bizarre, inexplicable family dynamic was this forming? That evening, Shenyuan decided to take Lo Bingha out to experience modern society, turning it into a family bonding trip. The entire Shen family set off, a lively and noisy procession. Shenyuan had pre-imagined some adorable scenarios. Maybe Lo Bingha would see something unfamiliar, his eyes wide and uncertain like a timid puppy, too scared to take a step until Shenyuan smiled and encouraged him. Then Shenyuan could patiently teach him, like guiding a child. After all, once Lo Bingha grew up again, there wouldn't be much left for Shenyuan to teach him. He might as well get his fill of being the indulgent Shizen now. Unfortunately, he soon discovered, he had imagined way too much. That was pure, unadulterated stereotyping, nothing more. As expected of the protagonist, Lo Bingha's learning and adaptation skills were downright terrifying. Oh my god, please tell me he's like, he can just drive a car, just intuitively. When Shenyuan had been sleeping soundly, Lo Bingha had been studying at an inhuman, almost violent pace. By the time Shenyuan woke up, the curious, wide-eyed Lo Bingha from the night before was gone. He'd already understood this world inside and out. Not only had he devoured textbooks from elementary school to university level, he'd even strong-armed the retired dream demon Meng Mo into opening a time-dilated space so he could binge-watch the entire top 250 movie list overnight. Oh my god, that's so funny! Ripping apart time and space to watch the top movies is so funny. Oh my god, I love that so much. Oh my god. What kind of insane move was that? He, Shen Yuan, a native of this world, hadn't even seen half of them. But while Lo Binghe now understood the modern world, his perspective on it was different. Shen Yuan realized there was a fundamental misunderstanding. Someone from a magical Xianxia world might not actually be all that impressed. Airplanes? Pfft, spirit beasts can fly. Sword flight is a thing. What's so special about a plane? Do people think that they didn't have large-scale sword flight formations? Television? None of that, people are moving inside the colored box, how amazing! Nonsense. They have scrying mirrors in his world. They can see anything they want, and it's all real. Any moderately powerful cultivator can just say, I want to watch a ghost head or spider lay eggs, and the mirror will show it to them in all its horrifying graphic detail. The internet? Why waste time arguing with strangers on a screen? If you have a problem with someone, you just fly over and challenge them face to face for a duel. Far more straightforward and satisfying. Wow. Shen Yuan felt like he'd lost a major source of joy. Even watching movies seemed pointless for Lo Binghe. Oh my god, they gotta go back. The big screen was, at its core, just a cheap substitute for witnessing grand spectacles and wonders firsthand. But Lo Binghe came from a world where you could literally fly up and see those spectacles. Want to witness a wonder? Lo Binghe could just create one on the spot. And to be fair, the movie itself was terrible. How did it manage to have a plot even worse than something airplane shooting towards the sky would write? As wave after wave of overblown, flashy CGI washed over the screen, Shen Yuan sneaked a glance at Lo Binghe beside him. His expression was blank, as if he were silently questioning the fundamental purpose of this entire activity. A bunch of people sitting in a dark room, getting emotional over moving pictures. Why? Only when Shen Yuan looked over, their eyes meeting, did his gaze soften slightly. The one comforting thought was that, at least Lo Binghe seemed to like popcorn. That is so cute! Oh my god. Oh, I can't believe that's a canon fucking line. You know, Shizen, all this stuff is pretty fucking stupid. But this corn. I do like eating corn in the dark with you. Shen Yuan's sense of accomplishment in providing for him was at the very least satisfied. After the movie, the family strolled along the riverbank. Shen Yuan was chatting with his parents, offering a scathing critique of the film, when he turned and noticed Lo Binghe a few steps behind. He was watching their noisy, laughing group with a faint, unreadable smile. Shen Yuan slowed his pace to fall into step beside him. Judging by your reaction, Shen Yuan said, you didn't find today very fun, did you? Lo Binghe tilted his head. Does it matter to Shizen whether I find this world interesting or not? Did it? Maybe a little. It wasn't about wounded pride or some misplaced sense of superiority. Shen Yuan wasn't like that. After a moment's thought, he sighed softly. You're only here by a stroke of chance. Of course I wanted to show you something interesting. Otherwise, he'd feel a bit of a failure as a teacher. Lo Binghe looked down with a faint smile. Perhaps there isn't much here that's truly fascinating, but this is the world that gave birth to Shizen's soul, isn't it? Shen Yuan's steps faltered. Lo Binghe looked at him, the reflections of their river lights shimmering in his eyes, along with Shen Yuan's own silhouette. For that reason alone, he said quietly, it is extraordinary. That is so romantic. Oh my god. I love that so much. That is so, so sweet. Shen Yuan was momentarily at a loss for words. Just for that, Lo Binghe added, his voice soft, I want to understand it more. So Shizen, you needn't worry about whether I find novelties amusing. It wasn't about finding the world interesting because of its contents. It was about finding the world worthy because a certain person existed within it. Oh my god! That brought tears to my eyes. That is deeply, deeply romantic. Oh my fucking god. That's so good. MXTX is a fucking incredible writer. It's shit like this. Like, this is making me feel like the feeling I had with Hualien, of like the depth of their emotion coming through in the text, in the quotes, in the quiet moments like this. Like, what a phrase. It wasn't about finding the world interesting because of its contents. It was about finding the world worthy because a certain person existed within it. Oh my god. I'm gonna put that in my vows for my wedding. Thank you, Emoto, for donating again. That's an incredible quote. Like, top 10 MXTX quote right fucking there. And Binghe saying that about Shenyuan is so cute. And Shenyuan's being like, oh man, he doesn't really like movies. He's not gonna like it here. Meanwhile, Binghe's like, this place birthed your soul. Of course I love it here. Oh. Movies do suck though, Shizen. It wasn't about finding the world interesting because of its contents. It was about finding the world worthy because a certain person existed within it. The world was blessed from the very start because of that. Shenyuan blinked, then coughed lightly. All right, I get it. After a brief struggle, he added, but next time, maybe don't study quite so hard. Leave your Shizen a little room to actually teach, will you? A student who learns too independently is bad for the teacher's ego. Lobinghe smiled and nodded. Understood, Shizen. Just as Shenyuan was about to give a modest approving nod, he heard a sharp crunch from behind. Turning, he found his little sister standing there, having just finished her soda, straw in mouth, watching them. Oh my god, does she know? She's like, you're fucking gay, aren't you, brother? Lobinghe remained perfectly composed, but Shenyuan sensed trouble from her expression. What are you staring at? He asked warily. She slurped up the last drops, crushed the can underfoot, tossed it into a bin, and shoved her hands in her pockets, as if pondering the profound mysteries of the universe. Finally, she said in a low, solemn voice, don't worry, I'll keep your secret. Oh my god! Stop! She sighed. Honestly, I always knew you were destined to die alone. I just didn't expect it would turn out like this. Hey, don't curse your own brother like that. And what did she mean, always knew? He wasn't that hopelessly reclusive. He was only half a shut-in. Half. By all reasonable standards, he was a functioning member of society. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh my god. Wow. That's the end of chapter 3. Now, chapter 4, Proud Immortal. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so much fun. I can't believe this. Day 4. Shenyuan finally heard from Shang Qinghua. His phone lit up with a frantic stream of messages from someone with an airplane as their profile picture. Airplane. Bro, do you have any idea what's happening? This is terrifying. Airplane. He found me! He crawled out of my computer like the girl from The Ring! I almost had a heart attack! My brand new laptop! My instant noodles! Did he seriously almost fucking die again? From being electrocuted by spilling his noodles again? Oh my god. Crawling out. Lobinghe knocking on the door looking like a prim and proper little cosplayer. And Moe-jun crawling out of the TV. Airplane. I'm talking about Moe-jun. Airplane. He said Lobinghe is here too. Is it true? Are you still breathing over there? Shenyuan's eyes twitched, crawling out of the computer? Okay, Lo Binghe's entrance was normal by comparison. Not that he knew where his disciple had originally popped out from. For all he knew, it could have been even more horrifying. Airplane. It's the end of the world. I'm calling it! Screaming internally. .jpg. Airplane. How are they even here? Does this mean I'm actually the creator god? I can't handle this kind of pressure! Genuine felt a powerful urge to yank a curtain shut on this conversation. Finding no curtain, he did the next best thing. He blocked Shang Qinghua. A minute later, he unblocked him. Airplane, blissfully unaware of the brief digital exile, continued. Airplane. He asked me why I ran. He looked so betrayed. I think he was on the verge of tears. It was terrifying. What was I supposed to say? My lord, it was an accident, I swear. Airplane. I had to sweet-talk him for an hour before he calmed down. He's so high maintenance. Mo Bei-jun in tears, thinking that Shang Qinghua left him. Oh. Shen Yuan, I ain't reading all that. Sorry, or congratulations, or whatever. Oh my gosh. Amoto, some poor person watched Lo Binghe crawl out of their TV like the girl from The Ring. Yeah. Like, maybe he came out of the sewer like the clown from It. Airplane. I'm more exhausted than when I pulled all-nighters writing 18,000 word daily updates. I feel like I've been run over. This is the first chance I've had to message you. Just you wait. I'm gonna have him ask Lo Binghe to borrow the Dream Demon's power. I need a time-dilated black room in my dreams. The new Proud Immortal Demon Way isn't going to write itself. Shen Yuan, please tell me he hasn't found your manuscript. Airplane. Don't worry! I've got it locked down tight. Mo Bei-jun's a man of his word. If he promises not to look, he won't. Airplane. It's just, I tried to take him out to see the sights, but he was so bored by everything. Ugh, my messages keep failing to send. The signal's probably crap up here. The last sentence caught Shen Yuan's attention. Shen Yuan, where are you right now? Shang Qinghua sent a selfie. One glance and Shen Yuan felt dizzy. He was pretty sure these two had just accidentally broken a world record. Shen Yuan rubbed his temples in disbelief. Shen Yuan, what mountain did you even climb? Stop! They're on top of a mountain? Airplane, I don't know! I took him to the amusement park. I thought, hey, pirate ship, Ferris wheel, classic fun. Called it a good night. But I woke up and he'd moved us here! Bro, I'm scared! Shen Yuan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It was a complete mess, but at least someone was keeping Airplane Bro company. Beats being alone in a tiny apartment with just your keyboard and instant noodles for comfort. He thought for a moment and typed out an analysis of the situation. Shen Yuan, he probably thinks you enjoy this kind of thrill ride. He was trying to show you that any excitement you want, he can provide right there beside you. Shen Yuan, hello? Shen Yuan, you alive? Shen Yuan, right. Next time, skip the amusement park. Try somewhere normal. Not that an amusement park wasn't normal. Airplane Bro was presumably still among the living, because shortly after, earth-shattering news broke. Zhongdian literature's most controversial hit, the legendary Proud Immortal Demon Way, had just dropped 180,000 words of new bonus chapters. 180,000 words. Airplane's typing speed remained truly terrifying. The new Proud Immortal Demon Way was clearly ready to run for another 10 million words, but the forums were in absolute chaos. The most shocking part, according to reader reports, was that Airplane Shooting Towards the Sky, infamous for his trashy, no-shame, wish-fulfillment writing, was suddenly writing a serious story. The new content had completely ditched the brainless, dragged-out style. Character fates were altered. The Scum villain, Zhen Jingzhou, for instance, seemed to have a completely different personality. Characters who died early, like Baijian Peak's lord, Lo Qingge, were now alive. New characters like Lo Binghe's parents had been introduced. This was a whole new Proud Immortal Demon Way, set in a parallel world. Readers were flooding the forums, passionately debating the new plot and characters, while others were at each other's throats over whether the story was now trash, if the characters were out of character, if Airplane had lost his touch or finally found it. A glimpse at the most popular discussion posts. Oh my god, did Airplane just pivot to bromance? So disappointed. What is this crap? Battle of the Century said, Lo Binghe versus Qianlin Jun, who's the true heavenly demon? It's just not the same. Let the old story stay pure in my memory. Unpopular opinion, I liked that he dropped the harem. I paid for a harem. Where's my harem? Refund. Poll, who's the top beauty? Lo Mingyan or Xia Hualing? The ultimate showdown. Could Wei Qingyan beat Lo Qingge without Xuan Su's HP drain debuff? This is peak. I never knew Pride Immortal Demon Wei had such deep lore. We heavenly demons were born to conquer. The MC is butchered. This isn't Lo Binghe. Trash. Excuse me? The moment Shen Yuan saw that last title, his fighting spirit ignited. White hot fury surged through him. How dare they? Criticize the plot all you want, but who gave you permission to slander the protagonist? Oh my god. Oh my god. He recovered his password at lightning speed and logged into the legendary forum account known across Proud Immortal Demon Way discussion boards, the former elite, now legendary reader, whose points in tipping history dwarfed all others, Peerless Cucumber. He cracked his knuckles, positioned his keyboard, and lined up 3 phones beside him, all comment sections open and ready. The war had begun. General Peerless Cucumber was reporting for duty. This is fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Holy shit. Number 1, retired old grandpa. Who is this guy? His forum level is insane. 2, Chinga's #1 fan. It's Cucumber Bro. You don't know him? You must be new here. 3, Baijian Peak's enthusiast. What's it to you? Not everyone followed the serialization, you know. 4, Sangchong Stairway Sweeper. Long time no see, Cucumber Bro. Since when did you become an airplane defender? Weren't you his biggest hater? P.S. At Baijian Peak enthusiast. Chill out. 5, Lo Mingyan the Beauty. He's always been a fan. He just loves Lo Binghe that much. 6, Ling R's Bell. Why is this fandom so toxic? I'm just here for my girl Xia Hualing. At Airplane, write a Xia Hualing side story and I'll forgive you. I want her to step on me. 7, Off with Shen Qingqiu's balls. He just loves Lo Binghe, +1. 8, Bring back this old glory. Honestly, Cucumber Bro has a point. This isn't a new direction. It's a return to form. Airplane's early writing was actually like this, more nuanced. He wasn't writing power fantasy, so no one read them. Although he did get popular later on, he also flushed his dignity down the drain. Nostalgic, but it tracks. This feels like the old Airplane. And can we just appreciate Cucumber Bro's glow-up? Man's gone from hater to believer. He's quoting deep cuts from Airplane's back catalog. Certified fan status achieved. Number 9, just a bypasser. No shade, but I'm amazed such dedicated Pride Immortal Demon fans exist. Peerless Cucumber is a legend. I certainly won't be forgetting his name anytime soon. 10, Peerless Cucumber, legendary. You can waste time gathering your little downvote brigade, or you can face me yourself. Can't even be a proper keyboard warrior? Then at least mop up after them. 11, 10 years a reader, OP. This trash fire is trending again. Same old crap. Don't tell me you can't see the blatant queer baiting. Then again, stans will eat up anything. 12, ending admissions office. He just loves Lo Binghe. We're with you, Cucumber Bro. 777, 10 years a reader. This comment has been removed for violating community guidelines. That was the person who mentioned queer baiting. 1314, Qingjing Peak Educator. Peace of mind. He just loves Lo Binghe. Oh. I love that the meme of Shen Qingqiu, or like Shen Yuan being like, I fucking hate this novel, and then behind him is just like all Lo Binghe merch, is basically true. He just loves Lo Binghe. He just loves Lo Binghe. He just loves Lo Binghe plus 999. He just loves Lo Binghe. This is so cute. Chapter 5, Chaos and Clarity. Peerless Cucumber reigned supreme. His whirlwind of devastating wit left the forum in ruins, leaving a trail of flawless victory in his wake. But as the saying goes, pride goes before a fall. He soon discovered that extreme joy begets sorrow. Lo Binghe had finally found something that piqued his interest, and that was none other than Proud Immortal Demon Wei. It felt like the floor of his world had just given way. The moment Shen Yuan realized what Lo Binghe was reading, a wave of sheer helplessness washed over him. No. No! He never could have predicted that Lo Binghe's insane thirst for knowledge would extend to this. He's binge reading web novels. Cold sweat dripped down Shen Yuan's temples at the thought. Lo Binghe suddenly chuckled. Shizen, come look what I've found. Shen Yuan walked over, his mind racing. He made a split-second decision. He looked at the text with feigned surprise and asked, "What is this?" "This book is peculiar," Lo Binghe said. "Shizen, you've never read it?" "Never. How strange," Shen Yuan replied, the picture of innocence. Yeah, right. He knew exactly what it was, and wasn't about to admit a thing, because admitting it could trigger one of the following nightmare scenarios. Scenario number 1. Lo Binghe looking utterly shattered, the foundation of his world crumbling as he whispered, "So I'm just a character in a book? None of this is real?" Scenario 2. Lo Binghe's gaze igniting, crimson and accusing, as he demanded, "So in Shizen's eyes, am I just a fictional role, not a real person?" It was a fatal trap. Shen Yuan's head throbbed just thinking about it. For number 1, he had no idea how to handle that kind of existential crisis. He had no experience or confidence in mending a shattered worldview. For number 2, he absolutely refused to create such an unnecessary misunderstanding over a pointless truth. But none of the scenarios he dreaded came to pass. Lo Binghe's attitude was calm, showing no surprise, let alone a trace of despair or a sign of breaking down. The one feeling despair was Shen Yuan himself, because he realized Lo Binghe hadn't just finished the novel, he had clicked open the book reviews. Shen Yuan's soul nearly left his body. Oh hell, what is he doing reading the posts by Peerless Cucumber? "This person is rather interesting," Lo Binghe remarked. "No, he's not. He's not interesting at all." "Shizen," Lo Binghe continued, "I feel there's important information hidden within this book. Shall we meet with Mobei-jun and the Anding Peak Lord today to discuss it?" Shen Yuan knew this was inevitable. "Sure," he agreed reluctantly. Shen Yuan immediately messaged Shang Qinghua. The two quickly aligned their stories, determined to keep their identities secret. Shang Qinghua was terrified that his son, yes, he considered himself Lo Binghe's father, would despise him, especially when Shang Qinghua had written him as a legendary playboy scumbag and filled the plot with trashy reader-serving nonsense. As for Shen Yuan, his reason was even more obvious. He felt that if Lo Binghe ever witnessed the glorious spectacle of him single-handedly taking on the entire forum of Pride Immortal Demon Way, he would never be able to face his disciple as a teacher ever again. With Shen Yuan's agreement, Lo Binghe smiled. "Then, Shizen, let's depart for Mobei-jun and the Anding Peak Lord's estate." Shen Yuan chose his words with care. "Would that be appropriate? I believe they're currently staying at your Shishu's place. I'm not sure his residence is meant for hosting large gatherings." Calling Shang Qinghua's rented room an estate felt like an insult to the world itself. To the word itself. Lo Binghe, however, looked genuinely puzzled. "Is that so? Mobei-jun has voiced no such concerns." "What? Since when did an esteemed demon lord, the kind one might imagine awakening in a palace of jade and obsidian, find a tiny fluorescent lit rental apartment unobjectionable?" Now Shen Yuan was curious. He had to see for himself how these two were managing their living situation. But when they prepared to leave, the sight that greeted him was nothing short of astounding. Shen Yuan had intended to call his family driver, but Lo Binghe stopped him, saying it wouldn't be necessary. They took the elevator down, and as the doors opened, a sleek SUV stood waiting by the building's shimmering fountain. Its body was mirror smooth, reflecting the light in shifting painterly patterns. The chrome grille resembled an intricately crafted silver mask, and the streamlined body was both elegant and sharp-edged. Lo Binghe stood beside the vehicle, casually tossing the key in his hand. Dangling from the keychain was the familiar goofy cotton puppy in a tiny bib. Oh, Ben! Stop! How did he get this fucking car? This is so funny! Hold on, where did this SUV come from? And the driver? Just what has he been doing in this world? Seeing Shen Yuan's questioning look, Lo Binghe smiled gently. "Shizen, there's no need to be so alarmed. I promise I haven't done anything this world would consider improper. I simply believe that no matter where we are, I must be capable of protecting you. So I've made some modest arrangements." Hearing this reassurance, Shen Yuan felt somewhat relieved. Truth be told, Lo Binghe had been quite well behaved lately, and probably wouldn't do anything too extreme. But then another thought struck him. Wait, Lo Binghe spent every night at his place. When exactly did he find time to make these modest arrangements? How is he finding the time? How did he even manage to teach himself to drive like a pro? This is so funny. Thanks to Lo Binghe's warning, Shen Yuan wasn't the least bit surprised when the SUV pulled up in front of a 3-story villa. The villa's owner appeared to be absent, but soon enough, Mobei-jun arrived, though Shen Yuan never expected quite this kind of entrance. A black sedan stopped at the gates, a bodyguard respectfully opening the rear door. Out stepped Mobei-jun, his expression cold and aloof behind his sunglasses, his suit impeccably tailored. Stop! Oh my god, he's the rich CEO! Trailing nervously behind him was a pitiful, terrified, and utterly helpless-looking Shang Qinghua. What a classic dramatic entrance. Shen Yuan couldn't help but feel Airplane Bro must have shown Mobei-jun way too many questionable entertainment productions. He wanted to ask, where did you get this car? And the bodyguard? Never mind the car. Better ask about this villa first. Actually, forget it. Just what is this whole mafia young master act? The scene was simply too blinding to look at directly. The formerly decently tall and reasonably presentable Shang Qinghua now looked like an innocent high school student standing next to a domineering CEO. His slender frame appeared especially pitiful and vulnerable, inevitably making people imagine all sorts of shocking scenarios. Oh my god, he's just giving such classic uke. That's so funny! Oh my god. GTA 6 finally dropped Lo Binghe edition. Oh my god. That's so funny, Kate. Thank you for donating. Shang Qinghua just being such a bottom is so funny. Oh god. Shen Yuan glanced towards Shang Qinghua. Oh. One moment. My dad is calling me. Okay. Shen Yuan glanced towards Shang Qinghua. Shang Qinghua wore an expression of pure terror, his eyes silently screaming, "Don't look at me, cucumber bro! This all started when he said my place was too small and my bed was too cramped." Censorship who? Censorship who? They're sleeping together. I love Mobei-jun curled up with Shang Qinghua in his, like, twin bed. Oh my god. I love this. I love this so much. Like, did Shang Qinghua take Mobei-jun out and get him, like, dressed up to fit, like, all his fantasies? or did he just do that himself? Aw, I love it. I love that even though it's censored, there's, like, no question that they're absolutely, like, in love with each other and dating and yuckin'. Amoto, thank you for donating again. Lo Binghe and Mobei-jun would be mafia, Lan Wangji would be cult members, and Hua Cheng would be the casino owner in a modern AU. Yes! I love it. Shang Qinghua wore an expression of pure terror, his eyes silently screaming, "Don't look at me, cucumber bro! This all started when he said my place was too small and my bed was too cramped. Anyway, he claims he didn't do anything like murder or arson to acquire all this. But as for the specific methods, I don't dare ask, and I really, really don't want to know." Okay, so he orchestrated this himself. That's hilarious! Oh my god. That's funny. That is very funny. Inside the villa. Lo Binghe tossed a physical copy of Proud Immortal Demon Way onto the table between the four of them. And so, the four of them began their research session on the novel. Shang Qinghua spoke first. To think such a thing exists! What a remarkable book! But theoretically speaking, wouldn't the author of this book be the creator god? Wouldn't that make him Mobei-jun's father? Shen Yuan was speechless. He had never met anyone with such a powerful dad complex. He was so desperate to reclaim his paternal dignity, yet he had none to speak of. He didn't even dare voice Lo Binghe as his son. He was just testing how far Mobei-jun's newfound tolerance would stretch. As expected, Mobei-jun barely glanced at Shang Qinghua, completely indifferent to the suggestion. Shang Qinghua visibly deflated. Of course, Shen Yuan thought, Mobei-jun barely acknowledged his real father. Why would he care about some random author? It seemed Shang Qinghua's dream of hearing someone call him dad was doomed. Being a Shizun was clearly the more stable career path. A teacher was for life, but a father was just a suggestion. How tragic. Creator god? Impossible, Lo Binghe cut in dismissively. The author merely possessed some psychic sensitivity, allowing him to glimpse echoes of another world. Oh god, this is hilarious. Shen Yuan understood immediately. That's one way to look at it, he said thoughtfully. It made sense. Some people were naturally attuned to other dimensions, catching fragments of reality like radio signals. Perhaps Xiang Fei had subconsciously picked up pieces of their world and woven them into the narrative. This would explain how they could cross between worlds. They had to exist on the same plane. No wonder Lo Binghe wasn't having an existential crisis. But this completely overturned Shen Yuan and Shang Qinghua's long-held understanding of Proud Immortal Demon Way. It wasn't just a book. It was a window to another reality. I love that. I love that. Because then they're not just fictional characters. It is an actual other. It's like Shang Qinghua was just the conduit of the universe, showing the other universe, you know? Oh my god. I wonder how his ego is gonna take that hit. Still, many questions remained. There were now 3 known worlds. 1. The modern, real world. 2. The original Pride Immortal Demon Way world. 3. The revised Transmigration world. Clearly they all existed on the same level. So what was the relationship between the original and Transmigration worlds? How was the Transmigration world created? Where did the system come from? And what was its purpose? They could no longer blame this on an author's grudge after being forced to change his plot. Airplane was just a mortal. He couldn't possibly have this kind of power. Lo Binghe was literally at the pinnacle of a fantasy cultivation world. If even he couldn't explain the system, what did that make it? Shen Yuan hesitated, wanting to discuss this further, but terrified of exposing himself. Will you try to find the author? He ventured. Fortunately, Lo Binghe shook his head. It's unnecessary. His sensitivity to other worlds seems limited. He may likely be as confused as anyone. There's no insight to gain from him. Oh? How so? The narrative of Proud Immortal Demon Way is wildly inaccurate, Lo Binghe stated coldly. The characters are hollow, the logic is nonsensical, and the prose is so unbearably bloated. It was an extremely unpleasant read. Got it, Shen Yuan thought. You think it's badly written and out of character. Lo Binghe's frown deepened. I've always treated Ning Shijie and Luo Shimei with nothing but respect. The book's suggestion of romantic entanglements is pure fabrication. Parts like the conquering of the 100 flower spirits read like fever dreams. This work is profoundly vulgar. Well, I think its scale probably can't compare to the stuff Sleeping Willow's Flower and others wrote, but you're right. Whenever Airplane wrote about women, he completely lost touch with reality. He's not even as good as Sleeping Willow's Flower. The corner of Shang Qinghua's mouth twitched. I was just giving readers what they wanted, just trying to make a living. Shen Yuan shot him a look, as if saying, shut up, you spineless author. Mobei-jun, who'd been silently reading his copy of Pride Immortal Demon Way without even removing his sunglasses, spoke up flatly. Why is the Braving the 100 Flowers chapter so much longer than the others? Shen Yuan almost laughed. I know this one. That's where he padded the word count by having the protagonist conquer over 100 flower spirits. That was 3,000 or 4,000 words of purple prose per maiden. Of course it would be much longer. After a moment of silence, Lo Binghe said expressionlessly, the flower spirits remain their larval or insect forms for life. They find human shapes repulsive and view humans with contempt. The notion of romantic involvement is biologically impossible. Shen Yuan... ... That's certainly a piece of knowledge unbeknownst to most. Airplane, I have no words. Core world building doesn't just change, right? So it must be your own improvisation. Insect anthropomorphism? That's way too hardcore. What kind of mind-shattering stuff did you make Lo Bing-he read? Mobei-jun deadpanned. Perhaps it was a fetish. Perhaps he enjoyed the idea of being swarmed by bugs. Shang Qinghua, ... Trembling like a frightened hamster, he scrambled over to Mobei-jun. My lord, it's not all bad, right? He pleaded. The parts about you are at least tolerable, right? Mobei-jun looked down at him. Are you a fan of this book? Shang Qinghua glanced fearfully at Lo Bing-he, who showed no reaction. Shen Yuan decided to throw him a bone. What if he is? There's no crime in appreciating a story. Gritting his teeth, Shang Qinghua confessed, Yes, I'm a fan! A die-hard, original, 10-year veteran fan! Mobei-jun thought about it. It's acceptable. Shang Qinghua looked as if he'd been granted amnesty. Thank God. To be honest, if you just looked at Mobei-jun's parts, they were indeed acceptable. Mobei-jun even showing a little bit of simpery there is hilarious. Oh my god. The fact that he's like, this book is fucking ass. Do you like this book? Yeah, I like this book. Okay, this book's alright. Oh, man. Mobei-jun's subplot was relatively palatable. Airplane had handled his character with a lighter touch. Never mind who was modeled after whom, but Mobei-jun was among all the characters the least OOC, although there were still plenty of questionable creative choices. This finally broke Shen Yuan's patience. He grabbed his phone and fired off a text. Shen Yuan, you outrageous biased author, how dare you load the protagonist with every trashy trope while going easy on your favorite side character? Shang Qinghua, sitting across from him, also frantically typed on his phone. Shang Qinghua, the protagonist bears the heaviest burden. The comments demanded of it. The peer pressure was immense. I was weak. I admit it. Lo Bing-he delivered his final verdict. What truly confounds me isn't the author, but his audience. The author seems to have sacrificed any authentic voice in pursuit of popular appeal. He wasn't writing a story he believed in. He was writing what he thought would sell. Shen Yuan, I wasn't a fan of those parts. I hated them too. It's no use. I'm forever tainted. Shen Yuan and Shang Qinghua shared a silent look, then averted their eyes, clinging to their secret identities. As the discussion neared its end, Shen Yuan noticed Airplane had gone quiet, seemingly lost in thought. This was quite unlike his usual self. What's wrong? Shen Yuan asked. What's on your mind? Airplane looked up, unusually serious. I was thinking, what if our world is a story too? Don't fall into rabbit holes like that, Shen Yuan said flatly. How can you... Whether this is a story or not is irrelevant, Shen Yuan declared. Would it change how you live? Our meaning isn't given to us. We create it. We are the meaning. Next topic. Shang Qinghua blinked, impressed. Cucum, Shen bro, I didn't know you were an existentialist. I'm not, Shen Yuan retorted. I'm more surprised that you know about existentialism. Even though it wasn't some profound concept, given the level of language proficiency exposed in Airplane Bro's writing, Shen Yuan hadn't expected any philosophical literacy from him. Shang Qinghua smiled awkwardly. Hey, don't look down on me like that. I did graduate from a top-tier university, you know. We are fellow alumni, you know. Really? Shen Yuan was shocked. You went to my school? Then how is your brain so full of Chinglish and bad grammar? Their alma mater was notoriously selective. Well, I went into creative work after graduation. English is like advanced math. 80% of people never use it again after learning it, so of course they forget. The peak of my English proficiency was during the college entrance exams. There was another thought Shen Yuan kept to himself. Shang Qinghua's idea was viscerally terrifying. It short-circuited his brain. The mere notion that some unseen audience might have been watching his entire life, every last bit of his tangled drama with Lo Bing-he, their endless push and pull, he couldn't bear to dwell on it. How horrifying. He's talking about us! That's literally about me and you right now. The fourth wall literally being ripped apart right now. Oh my god. That's so funny! Oh my god! I even forgot that, like, I'm reading a story right now. Like, I forgot Shen Jingqiu and them aren't from our world. That's amazing. He's crawling out of my laptop right now! Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good. Establishing that like they're real worlds that exist. You know, it's real. It's real. Oh my god. This is so good. We saw the wine bottle. Thankfully, he was reasonably sure no one would be interested in reading that particular story. ... Right? That evening, after returning home, Shen Yuan and Lo Binghe had dinner with his parents and sister. They took a short walk after dinner and retreated to their room. The moment the door closed, Lo Binghe posed a question that caught Shen Yuan completely off guard. He tilted his head and asked, "Shizhen, do you know what a system is?" Oh my god, oh no. Not bad. He even just started reading system novels now. Just how many pounds of web novels had he devoured? "I know," Shen Yuan replied. "Why do you ask?" "He's not going to ask me for more recommendations, is he?" Lo Binghe said, "I've been thinking. The system in this world is essentially the same as a parasitic spirit in our world. What does Shizhen think?" Parasitic spirits, entities like the now retired Dream Demon, also friendly nicknamed Portable Grandfather. Now that he mentioned it, the system and a portable grandfather were indeed similar. Both required the host to complete certain tasks in return for rewards. The main difference was that the Dream Demon was a living entity, while the system was like an artificial intelligence. "That's a reasonable comparison," Shen Yuan said, intrigued, but his interest was short-lived. Because Lo Binghe smiled and asked, "Shizhen, do you have a system?" He's too fucking smart, man! Oh my god, he's too fucking smart. Pocket Peepaw. Orion, that's hilarious. The Pocket Peepaw. You can't just ask that. ... As expected of the protagonist from another world, his intelligence stats are maxed out. Yes, even though the original Primordial Demon Way is no longer the same Primordial Demon Way at its core, the protagonist is still the protagonist. It wasn't just out of habit that Shen Yuan thought of Lo Binghe that way. When one became a being of peerless supremacy, it follows that he becomes the protagonist of that world. After rapidly weighing the pros and cons, Shen Yuan chose to tell him the truth this time. "Yes," he stated plainly. "As I thought," Lo Binghe nodded. "Shizhen's body in this world has no spiritual power, therefore only a parasitic spirit could transport Shizhen's soul between the two worlds." Then Lo Binghe took a deep breath and knelt before him. Although Shen Yuan was used to him kneeling, seeing the university student version of Lo Binghe on his knees was particularly jarring. He had been sitting on the bed, but now shot to his feet, startled. "What are you doing?" Okay, wait, are we gonna read into the fact that he's like, he was so used to seeing Lo Binghe kneeling? Lo Binghe's gaze was heavy. "So back then, Shizhen pushed me into the endless abyss because the system forced you to. Is that right?" Oh my god! I can't believe we're gonna heal this trauma here. Holy shit. Oh my god. MXTX just like oh my god. She's put everything in this. Oh my god. Wow. That's genuinely amazing. Every single answer has been answered. Every single question has been answered. That's crazy. This is crazy. Orion's belt, thank you. Kisses to celebrate. Shen Yuan let out a soft sigh. Yes. A complete mix of emotions flickered in Lo Binghe's eyes. Something like relief, but also a hidden pain. "I see," he said. Then, he suddenly slapped himself across the face. The blow was swift and vicious, startling Shen Yuan, who grabbed his hand in a panic. "What are you doing?" Kneeling on the ground, Lo Binghe looked up at him. Shizhen was forced into Shizen was forced into an impossible position, yet in the endless abyss, I truly held a shred of resentment towards you, and later, I frightened you. Shen Yuan couldn't deny that. It was terrifying. But Shen Yuan couldn't stand to see Lo Binghe like this. There's no reason to hit anyone, he said, furious. How can you hit someone I raised? It was my fault, Lo Binghe insisted. Please punish me, Shizen. Stop this! Oh my fucking god! He's like, you know what, Shizen, there was a brief moment where I thought that was not very nice of you. After you stabbed me and kicked me into that hole, I have to admit, I was upset. How can you hit my baby? This is crazy. This is fucking crazy. Shen Yuan was at a loss. How could he punish him? He could not bear to raise his hand at Lo Binghe. Seeing his helplessness, Lo Binghe bowed his head and buried his face in Shen Yuan's knees, his expression hidden. A shred of resentment is very little, Shen Yuan said softly. I don't mind. But Shizen never even had a shred of ill will towards me, Lo Binghe whispered. Why should you have to bear the weight of my shred of resentment? They love each other so much. This is so silly. Oh my god. But Shen Yuan, recalling their first reunion after Lo Binghe climbed out of the endless abyss, though he'd been terrified at the time, now remembered the look in Lo Binghe's eyes hadn't been one of hatred, but of heartbreak. He knew this disciple better than anyone. The shred Lo Binghe spoke of probably amounted nothing more than a moment of weakness, perhaps getting so enraged and pained that he might sketch a tiny picture of Shen Qingqiu on a scrap of cloth with his own blood, stare at it for a long time, and then eat it. That is so funny. Come on, Shen Yuan said gently. Back on your feet. Only then did Lo Binghe silently raise. Shen Yuan motioned for him to sit beside him on the bed. They sat in silence for a while. Then Shen Yuan fetched the small first aid kit by the bedside and turned Lo Binghe's face to the side. Lo Binghe obediently complied. Shen Yuan carefully applied ointment to his cheek, his heart aching. He hit himself so hard, half his face is swollen. But it was so unreal. How could someone still look so devastatingly handsome, even with a bruised and swollen face? Oh my gosh, you're so damn bad. After a long silence, Lo Binghe finally spoke. Shizen's parasitic spirit is too powerful. Not only can it move Shizen between worlds, but its presence is also undetectable, even to me. Shizen, we must find a way to remove it. In truth, Shen Yuan didn't feel particularly threatened by it anymore. Since the main quest ended, the system had become passive. When it did show up, it was usually to deliver gift packs. It felt more like a pet now. It remained quiet, even at Lo Binghe's declaration to remove its existence. But it was, after all, an entity of unknown origin, and there was no guarantee it would never harm Shen Yuan. Lo Binghe's concern was reasonable. We'll look into it together, Shen Yuan agreed. Perhaps we can try to trace its origins. Only then did Lo Binghe seem to relax. Slightly. It was clear he would have accepted Shen Yuan's refusal if he didn't want to remove the system, but the worry would have gnawed at him. He seemed thoughtful. Still, regardless of its origin, I must confess a part of me is grateful. If not for it, Shizen would never have come to my world, and if not for it, Shizen would never have pushed me into the endless abyss. Shen Yuan was taken aback. Why would you be grateful for that? Lo Binghe let out a soft laugh. Half of his body was cast in shadow as he looked at Shen Yuan, his gaze deep and dark. He spoke, word by word. Because only an act like that would be enough to make someone as kind as Shizen remember me for the rest of your life. Oh my god! What a comeback. That's actually crazy. He's like, I'm glad you pushed me down that fucking hole, because I know you would never forget that. That's such a good new angle to look at that. Oh, Binghe. Yeah, literally psycho Binghe. Binghe being like, that made you fucking obsessed with me. That's so good. That is so good. Holy shit, that's good. That is like, it feels so filthy. I love that. It's like, Binghe is still a little crazy. His love for you is absolutely out of this world. I fucking love that so much. Holy shit. Yes, yes. He is innocent baby puppy, but also... Oh, that's so good. I fucking love that so much. You know what? There's one more chapter too. Or I'm not sure how many more chapters, but there's another chapter at least. The writing in this is so fucking good. Also, like, extreme kudos to Jin for the translation and the editing of this. Like, it flows so smoothly. This is crazy. But, like, the writing is so good that I'm like, you can tell MXTX has just grown as a writer, right? Like, wasn't she, like, super young when she first wrote Scum Villain? And you can tell the prose flows better and even just this extra. So I'm like, imagine what her next book is going to be like. It's going to be amazing. This is crazy. Okay. Shall we continue? Chapter 6. The origin chapter. Oops, sorry, I keep hitting the frickin' mic. Deep in the night, something resurfaced in Shen Yuan's hazy mind. Back when Lo Binghe fell into the endless abyss, the system had gone offline too, leaving only an automated reply. It seemed to have said that Lo Binghe was its primary power source. Maybe he should tell Lo Binghe this and see what he thinks. When Shen Yuan sat up, he realized Lo Binghe wasn't beside him. He's probably out exploring the world again. Understandable. Kids were always extra curious about new places. Suddenly, Shen Yuan heard a familiar chime. The system is back online. System. The following is a message from all systems. We sincerely request the host to communicate with the primary power source Lo Binghe. Please do not uninstall this product. Please do not sever the system's connection to the current holder of the account, Shen Jingzhou. On my knees crying .gif. Stop! Are you fucking kidding me? Shen Yuan, that is, Shen Jingzhou, could hardly look at this thing that had once stressed him out so much. Since Lo Binghe is the primary power source, if he decided to pull the plug, the system can't fight back. Is it here to ask for a favor? Shen Jingzhou asked tentatively, if I help you, what's in it for me? System. Should the host provide assistance, the system will reward a declassification dossier containing insider intel on the system's origin. Really? Shen Jingzhou waved a hand. Approved. Hand it over. Wow. All he'd promised was to talk to Lo Binghe. The outcome wasn't guaranteed. You know, communication could always fail. However, the bar to read his declassification dossier is absurdly high. Shen Jingzhou found himself pulled into a separate space. Staring at the mountain's scrolls piled around him, his face darkened. How many words are in here? System. 921 million. 900 million words. Over 900 million words. That's not even humanly possible to read. Proud Immortal Demon Wei was less than 20 million words, and reading that had nearly killed him. And this is 921 million? He'd lose his mind before learning any insider intel. System. Would you like to spend 100,000 satisfaction points and 100 integrity points to enable easy mode? Yes or no? Easy mode. How nostalgic. Shen Jingzhou's motto was pay to win, never grind. He clicked yes without any hesitation. Instantly, the mountainous scrolls vanished, leaving just one in his hand. Shen Jingzhou sat on the floor, unrolled the scroll across his lap, and began to read. It was just as he'd expected. The truth was far more complicated than he'd imagined. First, there weren't just 3 worlds. Long, long ago, there was a 4th. It was the world where the original Lo Binghe was born. But like a burnt-out flame, that world had long since faded from existence. Shen Jingzhou was stunned. Wait, faded from existence? A fantasy cultivation world can just end? System. Naturally, especially without a Lo Binghe present, the world cannot any cataclysmic level disaster. For example, a cataclysm in your modern world, approximately 66 million years ago, an asteroid impact accompanied by volcanic activity and climate change led to the extinction of numerous ancient species, including the dinosaurs. Shenjing Cho, spare me the lecture, I get it, thanks. So even asteroid impacts were serious business in fantasy worlds. What should he call this origin world, Lo Binghe? Bing Mei was taken by his disciple. Bing Ge belonged to the stallion protagonist. Bing Di sounded weird and too close to Tianlin Jun. Let's go with Bing Zhu. And then there's a translator's note. Bing Di, literally Bing Dad, could ambiguously mean Binghe's dad, rather than Daddy Lord Binghe. Bing Zhu, literally Bing progenitor, means the original Lo Binghe, aka the ancestor of all Binghes. Bing Zhu. Holy shit. The original world was one where Lo Binghe lived in eternal, undying solitude. He even sank his own father to a sea of magma with his own hands, and no one ever reached his heart, not even until the very end. Shenjing Cho read carefully, then summarized. Bing Zhu seems pretty messed up too. Well, every Lo Binghe is messed up, just in different ways. But Bing Zhu didn't seem as unhinged as Bing Ge. Bing Zhu wasn't a stallion protagonist either. He never let anyone get close to him anyway. Thinking it over, Bing Zhu felt more like Bing Mei. This Lo Binghe lived in solitude for millions of years until he lost all desire, even growing weary of his own existence. His fate was sealed. Altering the past would only create new branches of reality. It couldn't save him. But he still yearned for a different ending, even if he'd never see it, even if he didn't know what ending he wanted. If he couldn't have a better end, then he would rather never have existed at all. So using his own body as a crucible and his own soul as the fuel, he forged a batch of parasitic spirits with his burning soul. Carrying his legacy, the spirits were destined to seek any opportunity to fulfill his last decree, a rewritten ending. And several centuries after his fall, a world-ending cataclysm descended. Without its Lo Binghe, the world was consumed in a magnificent shower of meteors, becoming a sea of blaze, and then it was no more. Oh my god. The parasitic spirits drifted across space-time, seeking someone with the potential to change the ending and send them to the starting point of Lo Binghe's life. In the modern world, to help their hosts understand their existence as quickly as possible, the spirits studied a popular concept from web novels. Thus, they adopted a new name, System. The system's first chosen candidate was Xiang Fei. Xiang Fei was an ordinary web novelist who took his writing seriously but had no sense of the market, hence his lack of success. One day, he subconsciously sensed fragments from the original world and decided to use them as foundational inspiration for a novel. In his original outline, though Lo Binghe would end up alone, he would meet many good people during his life's journey. While his life would have regrets, it would still be worthwhile. Not a perfect ending, but better than the original. In essence, Xiang Fei was like a biographer of Lo Binghe, taking major creative liberties, but doing a decent job regardless. This is crazy! The systems peeked at his outline and greatly admired this new story he had woven. They placed high hopes on candidate number 1. So they secretly endowed his keyboard with a powerful ability. Oh, Quinn, thank you so much for donating. I'll definitely check out your art afterwards. That's awesome. Thank you so much. So they secretly endowed his keyboard with a powerful ability. Whenever this author wrote Lo Binghe's story, his keystrokes could directly influence the course of that other world. But they never expected their star candidate to flop spectacularly. Candidate number 1 had a fatal flaw: a troubled home life, financial struggles, and parents who frequently forgot to send him living expenses. Having no idea what mission he carried or what power he wielded, and under immense emotional and financial pressure at this time, he panicked. In desperation, he abandoned his original outline and chose to pander to the market instead. This is hilarious. Oh my god. He cast his integrity aside and produced his magnum opus, a brainless, padded, wish-fulfillment version of Proud Immortal Demon Way. The ending was twisted into something even more bizarre. The outrageous part was that nothing Airplane wrote should have been able to affect Binga in the first place, because Lo Binghe's personal will cannot be controlled. The problem was, everyone else was fair game. Take Ning Ying Ying, Ming Fan, and the rest. They were mediocre to begin with. Not the brightest. If their original IQ was 50, candidate number 1 had downgraded it into the negatives. Picture this. Lo Binghe, stuck in a circus crew of characters with the collective IQ of a doorknob. Was it any wonder he started losing his mind too? The systems had never expected such an absurd development. They were no less appalled. What was wrong with this guy? He had potential, but where did his integrity go? He'd somehow established his own twisted logic and indirectly warped the protagonist into... He was indeed a creator god, just the creator god of a garbage verse. That's so funny! Oh my god! To stop him from distorting things further, and to give this talented individual another chance, they confiscated Airplane's keyboard and powers and kicked him back to the starting point. Now that he'd been thrust into the narrative himself, surely even he lacked the audacity to be that shameless. The systems had finally had enough. Cultivators of great power could physically cross world barriers, but ordinary people could not. For someone from the modern world to enter the world of Proud Immortal Demon Way, they needed a physical shell. Luckily, the systems had a gotcha pool of shells. They often made deals with people who despised both the world and themselves, trading alternate paths for their souls in exchange for the use of their physical bodies across all timelines. Candidate number 1 took his gotcha pull and drew Shang Qinghua. A decent draw, all things considered. A solid choice. Aside from his identity as the Anding Peak Lord, there were no major flaws. But he once again drove the systems to despair. This guy was just completely checked out. You couldn't get him moving, even with a whip. Each system would observe its host, probing the limits of their tolerance, having a dynamic difficult system tailored to each user. Every system was custom-made for its host, thus each system's nature ultimately reflected the person it served. Yet Shang Qinghua's approach was exceedingly conservative. For years, he toiled like a donkey at a millstone, yet his impact on the world was negligible, a total waste of his innate creative spark. And the most infuriating part was this. The moment the mission target changed to Mobeijun, that damn candidate's number 1 efficiency and motivation skyrocketed. Falter before Lo Binghe, but throw down for Mobeijun. Wow! This is so funny. Yes, and right, does that confirm that Shen Jiao then took his gotcha pull to be transmigrated himself into another world? That's crazy. Reading this, Shen Qingqiu screamed internally. Airplane shooting towards the fucking sky. How could you deny you're a side character fanboy? In the end, the systems held a council and tearfully conceded defeat. Enough. Not another word. Their top priority now was to find candidate number 2. And fast. Restarting a world consumed a massive amount of power. To conserve resources, the systems decided to deploy candidate number 2 into the same world. It seemed there might still be hope for it yet. Governing through non-action had its merits, after all. After careful selection, the systems fished someone out of the forums. Excellent. This reader seemed highly dissatisfied with the story's integrity, or lack thereof. How touching, since anyone who actually liked Pride and Mortal Demon Way would be instantly disqualified from candidacy due to their terrible taste. Most importantly, this person was deeply invested in Lo Binghe's fate. He's the perfect candidate. His long reviews were incisive. His short comments always hit the mark. Every tip he gave to the story demonstrated his deep investment. Every critique he made fully revealed the weight of his disappointment. He clearly possessed a profound understanding of both the story and its protagonist. This had to be the perfect candidate. Or so that's how it should have been. But they never expected 2 disastrous errors to occur during candidate number 2's soul transfer across the world barrier. First, the timing was wrong. Shen Yuan was deployed to the timeline when Lo Binghe was already 14 years old. Second, the character was wrong. Shen Yuan's hell of a gacha pull landed him with Shen Jingqiu, the man who abused Lo Binghe in every single world. 2 critical errors. The perfect hellish start. This run was hard-locked from the start. What kind of gameplay is this? Go screw yourself! To prevent butterfly effects and ensure Lo Binghe's smooth career path to demonhood, several key life events were fixed in place, welded into the timeline and completely unchangeable. Among them was this: Shen Jingqiu must push Lo Binghe into the endless abyss, which meant that Shen Yuan was destined to be killed in revenge by Lo Binghe just a few years later. What could such a short-lived character possibly do to change the world? The systems convened and argued. Some thought they should just abandon this world. It was hopeless. Others believed they should give him a new body and let him keep striving. They bickered back and forth, no consensus. Yet, to their astonishment, candidate's number 2 performance soon left the systems completely floored. This guy was way too efficient! They'd never seen a host deploy so effectively, given him an objective, and he operated like special forces. The mission difficulty and pressure levels kept rising, yet candidate number 2 maintained a remarkably stable mental state throughout. Beneath his laid-back exterior lay an unwavering internal drive. After dealing with so many hosts who slacked off, ran away, or just exploited the system's power, to finally encounter one who simply functioned was enough to move them to tears. But the surprise from Shen Yuan edition Shen Jingqiu didn't end there. In stark contrast to the checked-out Shang Qinghua, under the Shen Jingqiu's influence, the IQs of Ning Yingying and the other NPCs didn't drop, it leveled up. They shattered the baseline intelligence cap and kept crit-ing all the way to the top. He bulldozed through the main storyline, not only progressing to the unprecedented Tianlin Jun story arc, but also saving a host of peripheral characters. Among them was Lo Qingge, a figure doomed to an early death in every other timeline. Not to mention, the Lo Binghe of this world was brighter and more vibrant than ever before. Every version of Lo Binghe served as the primary power source for the systems. They could feel the energy he supplied. It was abundant, warm, and pure. This world itself seemed to pulse with a strange new vitality. Finally, the system shared some internal gossip with Shen Yuan. The system that recommended Shen Yuan for the job had been promoted, now leader of all systems. System: 'tis I. Shen Jingqiu: what's with the emoticon? You want me to commend you? System: if the host desires to do so, this system does not object. And it keeps using it's like the, like happy face. Shen Jingqiu paused, then asked, your mission, is it complete? System: the mission had been accomplished long ago. Shen Jingqiu: then why are you still stuck to me? System: the host offers the best employee benefits. ... Shen Jingqiu didn't ask about the benefits. The system offered him an explanation. System: the host's body contains abundant satisfaction point reserves, which are allocated for the disbursement of all systems' operational compensation. Shen Jingqiu: hey, stop using such creepy corporate jargon! So that was it. If Lo Binghe forcibly removed it from Shen Jingqiu, it wouldn't be able to pay the other systems their salaries. As Shen Jingqiu pondered, the system bombarded him with pop-ups. System: click to download. Hard times. A system's memoir. System: systems deserve peaceful retirement too. System: on my knees crying.gif. Oh my god! This is so funny. Holy shit. Shen Jingqiu: fine, I'll put in a word. System: thank you, host. Pleasure doing business. This product will provide minor assistance when needed. Throws confetti. JPEG. Shen Jingqiu: forget it. No thanks. If by assistance you mean more of those small scenario pushers or gal game style choice prompts, I really don't want to know what else you've been learning in the modern world. Shen Jingqiu remembered something. One more thing. When I first landed in the world, I asked what happened if integrity points hit 0. You said I'd be sent back. System: correct. Shen Jingqiu ventured. So if I'd hit 0, I'd have just woken up in the hospital? System: affirmative. What the hell? So back then, one slip and he could have gone home? He could picture it, lying in the hospital bed, happy but confused. Did the system just throw a tiny tantrum? No real consequences? They really decided this playthrough was beyond saving and just scrapped the whole thing? Oh my god, that was so much new lore. That was crazy. Holy shit. That really changes things, doesn't it? That's fucking crazy. Lore dump that changes literally everything. Okay, we're almost done. There's only a little bit left. Chapter 7, Always Together and Ever After. The winds over Sangchong Mountain would always be as free and boundless as the sea and sky. Before Qingjing Peak's bamboo forest stood a simple bamboo cottage, now connected to a newly built thatched pavilion where Shen Qingzhou and Lo Binghe sat together. At leisure, Lo Binghe sat there intently, crafting a cup from a section of emerald green bamboo, a new cup for Shen Qingzhou. He slowly rotated the emerging vessel, carefully shaving down every potential splinter with his dagger. It was delicate work and time-consuming, but he maintained perfect patience. He'd been working on this project ever since their return. Shen Qingzhou, meanwhile, let his thoughts drift. He'd briefly explained things to his family before leaving. Essentially, he might occasionally collapse without warning, but not to worry, he'd always bounce back within days. Their previous separation had been too sudden for proper goodbyes. This one was filled with hope instead of sorrow. Even though crossing between worlds required immense energy that took time to accumulate, there's always hope to do so again. Shen Qingzhou's thoughts drifted to Luo Qingge, who had gone to visit Luo Mingyan at Shanshu Peak. He truly hoped that after his previous educational interventions, the siblings might finally develop something resembling a normal relationship. Anything would be better than those painfully silent sittings that lasted an hour. Couldn't they at least discuss books they'd recently read? Though preferably not those romance novels by Sleeping Willow's Flower. Speaking of which, even Ying Ying had begun reading those lately. How inappropriate! Then there was Xia Hualing's recent fashion choice. Metal shoes spiked from sole to upper that looked more like a weapon than actual footwear. That one particular guy in the Pride Immortal Demon Way forum might want to reconsider the request to be stepped on. And then there was Shang Qinghua, who had finally replaced the Leisure House plaque at Anding Peak. Now he was agonizing over a new name, determined to restore his disciple's reputation. Lately, he'd been insisting to anyone who would listen, "I'm not slacking, I'm very productive, I write 18,000 words a day." Rumor has it, the old plaque now hung in Mobejun's bedchamber deep in the northern demon territories. That's hilarious. The demon seemed genuinely fond of it, perhaps because he'd grown accustomed to staying there in the human realm, or perhaps because he truly was a man of such leisure. He had developed a habit of appearing out of nowhere. His "now you see me, now you don't" routine was such an effective jump scare that Shang Qinghua's screaming became a fixture of the peak's soundscape. Oh my god. Shen Qingzhou's thoughts drifted to the very beginning, to why he had first loved Lo Binghe as a main character in the story. It had nothing to do with the ruthlessness he honed later on, nor the edgy darkness so many readers now admired. What had captured him was the boy Lo Binghe had been at the beginning. Back when the story started strong, when Airplane wrote with care, treating his plot like a fragile dream worth protecting. A time when the author still seemed to believe in the story he was telling. He remembered the day a shipment of teacups arrived shattered at Qingjing Peak. Everyone blamed Anding Peak's careless delivery, complaining about having nothing to drink from. The new disciple, isolated and eager to connect, had carefully selected bamboo and carved cups for everyone, just as his mother had made for him as a child. But no one valued the humble gifts. The bamboo cups were knocked aside during play, forgotten as they rolled across the floor. While the other disciples chased each other into the distance, laughing, the boy alone gathered the discarded cups. That lonely gaze had stirred something in Shen Qingzhou. That makes the teacup scene even worse! Oh my god! Long before he knew how the story would end, he had felt the powerful urge to change this character's fate. He remembered the system's earnest words after his furious ranting that night. The world's existence rests with Lo Binghe, but Lo Binghe's reason for living rests with Shen Qingzhou. Beside him, Lo Binghe glanced over and smiled. What's on Shizen's mind? Will you share it with Binghe? Shen Qingqiu wondered, do you like this rewritten ending? He wasn't sure whom he was asking, Lo Binghe or the world itself. The world, of course, gave no answer. It had simply given up its search for a different ending, and now continued on, a gentle and unending story. The end! I did miss a line. One second. Okay. He remembered the system's earnest words after his furious ranting that night. The world's existence rests with Lo Binghe, but Lo Binghe's reason for living rests with Shen Qingqiu. It had said that without Shen Qingqiu, what awaited Lo Binghe was loneliness and destruction, a death in which he would wish he had never existed at all. This world was changed by you. This world is your world. Beside him, Lo Binghe glanced over and smiled. What's on Shizen's mind? Will you share it with Binghe? Shen Qingqiu wondered, do you like this rewritten ending? He wasn't sure whom he was asking, Lo Binghe or the world itself. The world, of course, gave no answer. It had simply given up its search for a different ending, and now continued on, a gentle and unending story. That's so good! That was... I fucking loved Scum Villain as it was, and I loved the ending. Like, what's the ending line in Scum Villain? It's like, and now my, oh my god, what is it? Somebody, please, don't make me go get the book. It's like, and now my journey begins with you, or whatever. Like, please, someone bring up the quote. Oh, it's so good. But the story between you and me had only just begun. Yes. Okay, like, oh my god. It's so good. Literally everything is it's so good. It's so good. Oh my god. Okay, there is an afterword by MXTX. This is fucking crazy, man. This is crazy. Okay. Little Grasshopper is finally hopping onto the shelves in its simplified Chinese edition. Since the release coincides with the story's 10th anniversary, and the publishers approached the project with such genuine enthusiasm, I decided to write a brand new side story to celebrate its reunion with all of you. Honestly, I'm surprised as anyone. I thought it would be tough to find new things to write, originally expecting just 3,000 or 4,000 words, but once I started, the story just took off and leaped all the way to 25,000 words. That's the magic of this little grasshopper. It never fails to bring a light heart. It doesn't need chasing. It hops right into your hands on its own, chirping and bouncing about, bright and full of energy. Yes, even this afterword is just as lively. It amazes me. How can this little one, even after 10 years, still be so vibrant? Well, it's all thanks to you, dear readers, new and old, who never forget to give it a little nudge now and then. And so it nuzzles back, reminding me, don't you forget about me. Of course I would never forget. This book was my first full-length novel. It has its rough edges, places where it could have been better, but it also holds every bit of effort I could muster back in my student days. I'll always cherish those memories, juggling classes while praying I wouldn't fail, struggling through driving lessons as the instructor scolded me, all while happily chatting with readers in the comments section amid updates. If you weren't there back then, let me send my blessings your way. And if you were, let me give you a heartfelt hug. Thank you truly. Mo Shang Tongshu, February 17th, 2025. Oh my god. That is so special. That is so, so incredibly special. Oh my god. That is very sweet. And it feels amazing being able to have read that with, like, such an incredible chat. Like, I wish MXTX... I know there's, like, a billion people in the world showing how much she loves it, but, like, everybody in this chat just, like, sending her all of the love is just amazing. Like, oh my god. Like, she's so, so awesome. Wow, that was really, really amazing. Emmy, thank you for donating. Emmy says, thank you for sharing this, Kictor. I was expecting to wait years for this and much enjoyed sharing the experience with everyone. Please convey our eternal gratitude to translator Jay. Jin, yes! Absolutely, absolutely. Oh my goodness, like, the link is pinned. This translator did a fucking incredible job. Like, this is absolutely incredible work. There was not a single typo, not a single grammatical error. And I'm pretty sure Jin did this in like under a week, which is absolutely nuts. Okay, also there's one other little thing here that says, translator's note, the fans of the Scum villain Weibo community, Chahua, is named Little Grasshopper, which is a nickname MXTX herself gave the story. She once shared a dream she had where Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation was a traveler returning on a snowy night, and Heaven Official's blessing was a warming stove of red clay. Together they formed the poetic scene of a pot of wine amidst the flowers, which comes from the poem Drinking Alone Under the Moon. With Heaven Official's blessing as the flowers and Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation as the wine. As for Scum Villain, she imagined it as a lively little grasshopper woven from a blade of fresh green grass. Oh. Wow! That's amazing. And then the last translator note just says, to all the scummies, you're my greatest motivation. Thank you so much for taking the time to read my translation and for all the kind words you've shared, Jin. Dude! Oh my gosh. I just can't believe how special that was. It was literally perfect. That was absolutely perfect. I have no words. Being able to react to that live was just an incredible experience. Best Monday ever. Seriously, truly. The Wizard of Moss says, I will never be the same again. That was absolutely amazing. And just the sweet little romantic moments. Like, in case you had any fear, like sometimes when you finish a novel it can feel really sad because you're like you know that final line, like the story between me and you has just begun, is so good, but like just hearing the domesticity and how good everything is between them is just amazing. I really love that so much. Yeah, that blew me away. For real. Effie says, I've been emotionally wrecked from how romantic and beautiful this is. Me too, dude. Holy cow. I need modern era Lochinga. Yes, yes. Well, since they can go back and forth, I wouldn't be surprised. Night Owl, thank you for being a member for 34 months. Night Owl says, this inspired me to finally expand my Danmei plush section with all the extra characters. When I reopen the store again, I have at least 29 new options. Oh, hell yeah! Dude, that's amazing! Ugh. Miss Rosie says there's a Bing Zoo in the community page. Oh, yeah! Oh my god, yes. Bing Zoo. Poor Bing Zoo. And Mafia Mobejan was fucking iconic. Oh my god. I feel like I just need to go lay down and just think about this. That was really crazy. I'm so blown away. I'm so happy. Modern era Lochinga. Watch him pull up to the zoo and fight a lion. Wow. Yeah, new skits for Scum Villain. Yeah, it turns out my skit was widely inaccurate. I love that Bingha just came here, was just like, yeah, I understand everything. All right. Okay, tomorrow, if you guys want to hang out again, we can continue reading Mode Azushi tomorrow at 5. Oh man, what a shocking jump from the good vibes of Scum Villain to the terrible vibes of where we're at in Mode Azushi. But despite the terrible sadness, I always find a way to make the stream fun. So even if you are afraid of how terribly tragic the worst part of the book is, don't worry, we will do it together. And eventually we'll get to the Wangshin, which makes it all worth it, right? So that'll be tomorrow at 5. So yeah, hope to see you guys at the stream tomorrow. And if you are new here, thank you for coming to join. Be sure to subscribe for some more Danmei content. I am 1000% going to make a video, probably explaining to Stitch all my favorite parts from this new extra. So yeah, and I'd also love to like just take a look at the fandom and see what the fandom's been up to, what all the new fan art, what all the new fics are like since the drop of this, you know? Insane whiplash. Annika, thank you for donating. This was so special. I don't have the words for how amazing this was. Thank you for reading, and infinite props to Jin for a phenomenal translation. 1000%. Yeah. This has just been truly, truly incredible. I feel very, 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 very lucky. Like, incredibly lucky that we have such generous, hardworking people in the fandom like Jin to do something like this. Now say goodbye to Bing Cho kissing. Yes. I really like the Bing Cho kissing art. I don't know, I think the sexy Jung Chung one and Bing Cho kissing might have to stay. Does Bingha get his hair back when they go back? Good question, actually. That is a good question. Oh yeah, Miss Rosie sent a picture. Oh, does he have white hair? Let me see this Bingzu. I don't see it in the community. It might not have posted, but I will be sure. I'm gonna hop on Twitter after this and I'll look at everything. White hair Bingzu. Ooh, okay. All right. Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for spending this special time with me. Now go think. Let your brains think of Bingha, Bingmei, and Bingzu and the implications of the lore. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.